It's the Tonya Burn Show. Tune in right now. Like and share. Our city needs that vow. Flint City News got truth to share. When we fight the darkness, we repair. Won't give up. We're standing tall and proud. Voices rising strong, no longer shrouded. Residents deserve what's right and fair. Together we can lift the despair. We fight, we win, we break the chains. Tonya Burns won't stand out in the rain. Our city dreams will make them true. With every step it all renews. Renew, step it all renews.
Hey, happy weekend. Happy weekend. This has been a good week. It has been a good week. So if you are now logging on, do me a favor, click like, share, and subscribe, and then drop in where you at. Drop in where you at. Listen, because we appreciate each and every one of you. Producer Jay, how you doing?
What's going on?
You almost fell down them stairs.
Listen, see, you just talk too much.
I was gonna get you. Like, whoa! I'm like, I hope he okay. I'm not laughing at. I don't want you hurt. I don't want you hurt. I do not. So listen, y'all. We got a good show tonight, and we're gonna cover some things. One of the things we got, some of the things that we're gonna cover. Third ward election. We're going to talk about the third ward election, and then we're also going to talk about why is this election so important? Why is it? My allergies, y'all, is kicking my butt. Why is this election so important? And so we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about the divisiveness of council. This has been an interesting week. And so what I want to do is make sure I'm bringing you guys, the ladies and gents, the truth. So, Producer Jay, is he putting them up? I got to go back down. Y'all know how my scroll be. My scroll just be bad. And so charge it to my mind, not to my heart. And I just took a Benadryl, but it don't make me sleepy. So, hey, Gutter Black, Cena B, thank you to my moderators. Sheena Beckton and Patrick Jean, R. Murphy. What's up, Dr. Padroni? What's up, Avis Hawkins, JP6? Hey. And here we is from Southern California. Avis is in Miami, Florida, in the house. Listen, y'all, my nails, I need to be going to get them done. I'm not putting on them little press-ons again. I can get them jokers off. Listen, Tasha Lynn, hey girl, Carson Newbauer, hey, Miss Eartha Logan, let me give you Queen some love. Auntie M, let me see, y'all know I gotta scroll down. Gutter Black is in Dallas, Texas. T Branch from Virginia, Eddie Gray, Charlotte Bound, Aluna Calloway, Flushing. Look, we'll send you some love too. You know, you're just right on the border. Listen, Tasha says she's in Atlanta, and she put the peaches in the house. Look, AK call. Hey, AK, how you doing? Listen, Reed Johnson sends me blessings and prayers every day, and I'll be needing those. We have got Christopher Sims. And now y'all know I'm trying to look. Now I got to do something I'll never do. And if I mess this up, Julina, hey, and look, if I missed y'all know I'm messing this up. But so listen, he making sure he putting your name on the what's the name, because I've been and messed it up. So listen, council meetings have been a lot, but that's pretty much what people, they I hate to say they watch for, because people know that our council is a problem. And the people who the people who aren't served are the people. And it becomes an agenda that is not of the people and for the people. And so we just gonna get to it. Third ward election. Why is third ward? And we gonna take some call-ins. What's at stake? What's at stake? This is such an important election because there's so much at stake. Oh no, get Liddell. I know you're on here watching. Listen, we're gonna send her some love too. So listen. So what's at stake for this election? There's a lot. So let's go back to how the election happened. I'm just briefly, because we're going to be doing election coverage night on Tuesday at 8:00, and we're going to be doing it on the Flint Urban News Network. But let's go all the way back. Beverly Biggs recalled Quincy Murphy because she was, the 5 votes. There was enough votes gathered. The people worked together to do what they wanted to do to change the third ward. The people did. Then we have during the election, when it was on the ballot, the election was in the process, and then unfortunately, Councilman Murphy passed away. He passed away, and then they said that they weren't going to certify the votes, and so with them not certifying the votes, it kind of threw us in a debacle with things. And with everything being thrown into a debacle, it's been a mess. So precinct 10, and I believe Deacon Dumas is on here on the Facebook side. I cannot see the Facebook side. If you are on there, I'm sending y'all. Wait. Kermit, what's up? Kermit is on. Hey, Teresa Nestor, Terry Hatcher. Look, I had to do it with the other phone. I can only see 4 or 5 people on there. So if you're on the Facebook side, I'm sending y'all love too. So precinct 10 was a hot mess. So many problems. One, people were being told that that's not where they voted, and they were leaving. And how I know this, because I went over to precinct 10, because Carol, I was helping Carol, and at the time, precinct 10 was, it was in the ward for her. And as it was in her ward, I went over to see what was going on. I called the city clerk, and I also called the county clerk. The county clerk did come over, Dominic, and he gave him a quick update, like a quick tutorial or education on some things. So, but there were some votes which were not counted. They never gave how many votes were not counted, how many people did not get ballots. And so they claim a small section, but we never really got what section and how many people. That never happened. So precinct 10 was a problem. So where we at now is the city clerk did not certify it. And so now we are here this Tuesday, May 6th. Third residents, get out and vote. Get out and vote. Because one of the things where people were saying for the recall was to stop the 5 votes. And so what is the 5 votes and what's important with the 5 votes? The 5 votes were they were voting on their own resolutions. Thank you. So here are our candidates. Look, I ain't give him that one, y'all. He owned this without me. So listen, can leave that up there. So Lee Williams, Mississippi, watching. Thank you for joining. Sonia, thank you for joining me. So these are our 4 current candidates, which is AC Dumas, Beverly Biggs Levy, LaShawn Johnson, and Richard Jones. And so, hey, Alan Superstar, hey. And so these are, hey, Carol Lewis, Unc. These are the 4 people who are now running. AC Dumas, Beverly Biggs Levy, LaShawn Johnson, and Richard Jones. And so these are the ones who are running for this seat. And so this is a very highly contested race. Why? It's really kind of split like our count. And leave that up, please, producer Jay. Our council is split 4-4. And then you have here, it's a split 2-2. And so we know that breaking that fifth vote is important. And for the people, breaking that fifth vote. So we know that there was we have a third ward ambassador, and that's Miss LaShawn Johnson. Her and actually Linda Booth. But we only ever hear LaShawn Johnson talking. LaShawn Johnson is at every single press conference that the mayor and them are at. And so with this, people have said, hey, is this swaying the vote? Is this a way of campaigning? What's going on here? And absolutely, it's a very slick way of doing it. It really is. And I'm going to tell you why. One, when he says he has ambassadors, anything in the city count in the Flint City Charter tells you what a multi-member body group is. And a multi-member body group is, because LaShawn is an ambassador, page 5, because y'all know I'm going to educate you. Thank you, producer Jay. Page 5 tells you what a multi-member body is. It's very clear. It tells you that multi-member body means any board, commission, ad hoc committee, advisory committee, any group, however designated. They're designated as ambassadors, composed of more than one person enacting or perpetuating to act in the exercise of official duties. The city council is not a multi-member body. So let's leave that up. So we know that she's got duties where the mayor on his show states, that I have the third ward ambassador. And what are you doing, third ward ambassador? And she said, well, Mayor, I'm cleaning up and I did the literally. And those are all notable things. But here's the thing. Before she's even on, the mayor has got her breaking the city charter, which she takes an oath to. Because anytime you have a multi-member body, it has to come before city council by ordinance or resolution. He has her breaking the charter already, because there's more than one person. Remember, Mayor Neely said it's going to be 3 people. Then we ended up with 2 people. And the 2 people are Linda Booth and LaShawn Johnson. That's a multi-member body, because it states clearly here, any committee or group, however designated. How many? More than one. We have 2 people on that board. There's 2 people on this board. So before she even gets on in this capacity, and what are her duties? She's acting in the job perpetuating, acting in the role of, she's doing the role of the third ward ambassador. She's doing it already. And so that is a problem, because y'all know how I feel about the chart. This is one of my almost better ones, and you have to follow the charter. And so here's the thing with these 5 votes. I had some interesting calls this week, and I'm going to tell y'all. People are outraged that they are voting. Why is it important? Because they have been voting on their own resolutions to approve them, whether in committee meeting or whether it was inside of council. They were voting on their own. So what are they absent of? A 5th vote. A 5th vote. So who will be their 5th vote? I don't believe that Beverly Biggs will be their 5th vote. Beverly Biggs Levy. I don't believe that AC Dumas would be their 5th vote. I do not believe that those 2. So I believe Miss LaShawn Johnson is with them and Rich Jones. And I don't know if Rich has had a change of heart this last week. I don't know what's going on with him. But I think we have to operate in transparency. And if we operating in transparency, we know 2 of them is not going to vote and have their own independent voice. And that's Beverly Biggs Levy and AC Dumas. They just simply do. And when I look at that, because she's acting in perpetuity and playing the role, this is a violation of the charter. Like I said, we never got for who was going to be these third ward ambassadors. It didn't come to us by ordinance or resolution. And it's supposed to. This mayor does whatever he wants because he's got 5 votes. If we want to change how the residents are treated, you need to vote for AC Dumas or Beverly Biggs. That's it. I'm not going to change my mind unless, and I've never had a conversation with Miss LaShawn. She speaks, we've spoken, and Rich Jones is now speaking to me again, but I'm okay with that. But when I know the two who are not going to, I'm saying, and this is why it's important, AC Dumas and Beverly Biggs will not. I don't believe that. I know they're not. And so it's that fifth vote. So why is this fifth vote important? Can we put up the resolutions, please? Yeah, and if I go to sleep, I did take a Benadryl. So I sent you producer Jay. Yeah, I had to run the show, and your girl is hard. So I think that producer Jay, can you put up I don't even have those up on my okay. So this was the resolution. Okay, that is the one for, is that 50,000, producer Jay?
That's the one for 25.
Okay. So here is the issue right here. So the one with 25, because we're gonna go through all three, and he's gonna filter through. So the $25,000 one, if you can put that back up, please. Thank you, sir. Since you didn't hurt yourself falling down the stairs, to God be the glory. And so the 25,000 was a second amount that was given to Councilwoman Liddell Lewis, and it was given to her. She voted to be her own fifth vote, and then you'll hear Councilmember Judy Priestley say, well, she didn't do that because it had a what do you call it? A fiduciary. Okay, but here's the thing, Judy. She might have a fiduciary, but here's the other part to that. It still goes into her bank account. Okay. Her name still has on this resolution, Cyrus Park. Who created Cyrus Park in August of 2021? Liddell Lewis. The bank account goes to Liddell Lewis. You cannot say that it doesn't affect her. And this is the stuff they lie about. We're going to get into the lies. And so this is something that for me, it's important to stop this type of abuse. Has any one resident in the city of Flint received 25,000? No. How many roofs have we really put on throughout the entire city? We don't have no number, and we don't have transparency. Some of the things I think with AC Dumas and Beverly Biggs, we will begin to do hearings to hold people accountable, because we need 5 votes, and the people have got to show up. So let's go through the other one. So her first one, she voted to give herself 50,000. And on that resolution also, it is, she voted to be her own vote for 50,000 because she has her own nonprofit. Now, remind you, in these nonprofits, her nonprofit status with the first one was revoked. It had been revoked. It was revoked, and she was putting it forward. Now, if your nonprofit is revoked, you shouldn't be applying for anything. On here has her nonprofit's name. Who was the originator and incorporator? Liddell Lewis. Liddell Lewis was the originator and incorporator. She was. That's just the fact. And so if Tonya Burns has a nonprofit, I would have the decency to not vote on my own nonprofit and make sure I get along with my colleagues to say, I need to sit this one out because the work that I'm doing is worthy. And because the work is worthy, I'm not going to vote on it. She has voted on her own nonprofit, not once, but twice. Not once, but twice. Her nonprofit has received $75,000. What she's done with that money, I don't know, but 5 votes, we're going to have a hearing and find out. We're going to count every single penny, and we want receipts. We need to have a hearing, and we need to have 5 votes for that. It is time for the residents to start making sure that they are served and they get the money that they deserve, period. So, Candace Machat and committee, Liddell pulled hers back. She has a nonprofit she's affiliated with. She has said she filled out the paperwork. Now, she will lie because she just go back and forth with her lies that she says, but she's tried to say dishonest deal time. Girl, don't spend that. Don't do that. And just the messy mess. I'm not going to even do it with that, but she voted in committee to send it to council, the 300,000, but it hasn't been approved yet. If they get 5 votes, do you think they're going to hesitate to not approve their money? You look at how boldly and nasty they are. They talk to the residents like they're their children, like they're trash, disrespectful, and we're going to get into that later. But they are terrible how they treat the residents and the other 4 colleagues that don't support their lack of ethics. So in committee, she did vote to send it to city council. This is going to come back up. Now, y'all remember Ed Taylor coming up there, hey, we ain't got nothing to do with this. We did not send this up. We didn't sign off on it. We didn't vet it. Hey, JWC, we did not sign off on it. We are not supporting this. Hey, we don't know where this come from, because Candace Michette jumped the line to say, with her boldness, I'm going to send mine up, because they had 5 votes. And that window was closing. And so she was trying to get her 300,000 done. And so when she put that in, Liddell ended up, I don't know what happened down in the war room, but when it got to council, they pulled it back, because Candace was like, I didn't vote on basically everybody else. Y'all gonna give me my money. And then, because that's what they have been doing. That's what they have been doing. 5 votes is dangerous. And with this group, it is. They've shown us you don't matter. They have shown us that their 5 votes is all about them. So, hey, Salty Chef. And look, if I didn't say, now y'all come on, Diablito, if I messed that up and everybody else, some of the names, if you coming in, thank you for joining us. So when we look at these 5 votes is what the ethical 4, and yes, there is an ethical 4, because we keep showing up being trash, dog, dragged, and talked to like they think somebody can. I'm not studying. They're not gonna talk crazy to me no more. I'm not allowing it, because the charter tells you nothing. But we're gonna get into that. Thank you, Christine Lynch. Thank you. Hey, M. Kersey and Vince. Hey. And so these 5 votes, people have got to show up. We have got to change the trajectory. They done threw everybody out and their mama people on walkers. Beverly wasn't the first. Liddell put out the lady who was in her ward, sleeping in her car, who was on the walker and was begging for help with the roof. She threw her out. I mean, because the compassion is not there. So you have to, and I see people in the comments, vote Beverly Biggs. She did the work. And I've been very straightforward that I am friends with both of them. And I am. And I have not changed that. So and neither one of them, anything that they have called me for, I have always helped them. So Mark, I see what you're saying. Yep. And she did the work, and she had some people who were working with her, but she did do the work. She actually had a team of people, and, to carry that team over, which is important. Absolutely. And so, I want to move on. So you got that 300,000. Oh, now let's go. Now check this out. Leon El Alamein has got money to come, 150,000. So that has not been paid to him yet. Guaranteed it's gonna be paid. Why? Because that's how they take care of each other. So I sent you 2. One has got like the red, like a oval sideways box on it. So to show he has 150,000 to be paid to his nonprofit. Yeah, I didn't took this Benadryl. So producer Jay, and maybe I need to send these as I'm coming up to you on them, because he got a lot.
No, I got it.
Okay. And so Leon stuff, and so he has got in there. He has got in there for 150. Now they get 5 votes. He getting ready to get $150,000. Now, despite the part where people are saying, look, it is alleged he lives in Mount Morris. Now Now, this one he received on here, he did receive the Maine Institute grant, received 300,000. And but there was also a breakdown. They're getting paid, and what are you getting? Left behind. You're getting left behind. So on here, the city paid him out of in his name. I've never seen this. The check registry, I don't know if it's back up, but it hadn't been up since June. But you see on here, they paid him in his name and not his company name. He was paid in his name, Leon El Alamin, 30,000. He was also paid in his name, 8,750 in the name of Leon El Alamin. But y'all check this out, because this is how some business is being done. This ain't. I'm not Channel 12. So Channel 12 had reported that Leon El Alamin received $283,000, $375 from the Islamic Relief USA. And I think it was in front of that building on the corner of Flint Park and I call it Detroit Street, but it's actually ML King now. And so he received $283,375, a grant for them. But let's keep going through to the next one. This is going to tell a story. So the IRS, the Islamic Relief Agency, had their status revoked. Now here we go. Look at the top. I'm putting up facts. I want y'all to be informed. So let's go to the next one. Why they had it revoked. And still he has $150,000 that he's supposed to be getting. So people have become and made themselves aware in his ward. And they're like, hey, everybody else getting something. Maybe we need to get a nonprofit. That's the hustle. That's the hustle. And residents are tired of being hustled. They're tired. So listen, why are y'all on here? I need y'all to click, like, share, and subscribe. Click, like, share, and subscribe. Okay. Let's get those likes up, because listen, there's been some work getting into this. So I want people to have facts. So let's go to the next one. Now remember, we don't have his one up yet where it shows that fifth vote. This isn't his fifth vote, but this is with his nonprofit and things which are looming and surrounding him. So he received that grant for $283,375, and they took the nonprofit status from the group, the organization that gave him the money. Let's go to the next one. I'm trying to. We gonna move through because we got a lot to go through. Producer Jay. Okay. House panel asks IRS to revoke tax exempt status of 9 nonprofits, some with terrorist ties. Terrorist tie. So the organization that gave him those funds, their status was revoked because of some with terror ties. Y'all, this is not my stuff. This is y'all reading it. So that money that he got, I don't know what's going to know. People kept talking about, well, where's that fence at? What's going on with that building? I don't know. But this is, y'all can Google this yourself and look it up, but I'm putting up the facts for you. House panel, which is I think the House of Ways and Means, actually asked the IRS to revoke the status. So he has an organization that the status was revoked because of terrorist ties to terror. And that's that Global USA. So let's go on to the next one. I mean, y'all, this is the series. This is why we need 5 votes, because if something isn't correct, we can remove people from real cause, and this is something that is real. You have a sitting council person that received funds from an organization that's tied to terror ties and was investigated by the House of the Ways and Means Committee. Come on. I mean, this stuff is serious. And this third ward vote is serious. Why they get what they want and then they leave. And the people get left behind. So let's go on to the next slide when you get a chance.
Which one now? Which that was all of them that you sent.
Oh, okay. Well, you sure. I don't know why all my stuff don't go to you and make it there. My allergies are bothering me. What's this? Okay. Also, look, if y'all can click like, share, and subscribe. You didn't get this one. Listen, also y'all tip the DJ. Listen, not the DJ. Look, producer J. So this one right here, grant money received. Thank you. So this is grant money I believe that he received in the last 14 months. 300,000. Oh, that's small blown up. Okay, thank you. Grant money received. I think this is the last 16 months to the Maid Institute. And so you had 300,000 for the Justice Fund, 283,375 for the Islamic Relief, 74 for the CIV Lab, 30,000 the City of Flint, 8,750 for the City of Flint. And then now he wants to be paid with that fifth vote, that 150,000 in ARPA funds. And this is not everything, y'all. So this is not everything. So let's go on to let me so this is why that vote is serious. Okay, you should have got this next one, and it's in yellow. So the ARPA funds, that's 150. And he applied to community block grant dollars. He wants to get community block grant dollars too. So on here, it tells you for the residential, and let me read that. It tells you on here. So it tells you this is our everything highlighted in yellow is what is approved. Okay. Everything in yellow is what is highlighted and approved. So residential mixed project Maid Institute serves City of Flint First Ward. Okay, this is the Maid Institute. Let's go to the second one. Now with this comes the $150,000. And so did you get the other one, Producer Jay? I don't know why all my stuff don't make it to you. So can we blow that up? There we go. So it's founded in 2015, the Maid Institute. What he's asking for is 150,000. That fifth vote, and it is in yellow. And yellow means it is to be approved. Leon served on this committee to actually on the ARPA committee. And then they said he dropped off. Now, we didn't approve this ARPA committee. The mayor did. And the mayor approved these people. And it's been some questionable things since then. Not with everyone, but with some people. So on here, you see, he applied everything in yellow means it was approved. And so it's approved to be paid. It's approved to be paid in the amount of 150,000 to the Maid Institute. If they get 5 votes, what do you think is going to happen? I mean, what do y'all think? If y'all think they get 5 votes, put some ones in the comments if you think he gonna get that 150,000, because he been voting on their stuff. So of course they're going to vote on his. I mean, this is why that third ward vote is so important. Everything in yellow. Thank you, Mark. Yep, he gonna absolutely do it. Absolutely. And so everything in yellow means it's approved. But the only thing, thank you, Reese Stewart, thank you, Christopher Sims, Tasha Lynn, he gonna get paid. Big Shady, yes, yes, yes. RJ Brown, yes, yes. I mean, he's going to get that 150,000. All he's waiting on is one more vote. Reed Johnson, yes. They get that 5th vote. Yolanda Balknight, yes. And everything else. So, new casket. Hello, casket. Hey, new casket. And so, yes, he's going to get it without a doubt. Without a doubt. Because this is what they work together. those five, unethical although they may be, work together. They come in, they're rude, they're disrespectful. So this is why I'm saying this. Beverly Biggs Levy and AC Dumas. And there were problems with that race. And I get there, and like I say, everybody can come in there to say what you want in the comments, who you support. I am fair with that. We are respectful. But this type of stuff has got to stop. And he applied for community block grant dollars too. And so he hitting everything. But we know now, can you imagine if I had a nonprofit with ties to an organization that had terrorist ties? Can you imagine what they would say? Oh, she's a terrorist. She's anti-American. But he does. he does. So I'm just saying. So Producer Jay, I sent you so much stuff, and we had a whole run of show. So listen, click like, share, and subscribe. Jason Parker, the under the table payment stops, and Beverly, say it again. That's right. That's right. They stop because they paying themselves. They ain't paying the people. I have never seen residents be so disrespected as in the Flint City Council. I've never seen it. And then this is the ironic or odd part. You have the mayor who his picks are the four. He talks about the city council to the city council. Now, if the president and the vice president cannot get control of the city council, what are they city council for? I mean, he is actually saying to them, y'all don't have control. I'm going to talk about them, and I'm going to talk about the council. Well, Mayor Neely, in your efforts to gaslight and lie, because that's what he's been doing on the city council, you're talking about your favorite four, your four who have your vote, which makes their leadership terrible. He doesn't get the fact or connect that to talk about the four who ain't rubber stamping and stuff, that you talk about the other ones. But we're going to get into that later too, y'all. But imagine that. They'd have had a press conference, and this is something that's serious. So we got that 300,000, 150,000. We know that Leon has got another 150,000 and actually put in for community block grant dollars. Then you have got Liddell has gotten 50,000, then another 25,000, and we need to stop the train to their pockets. So the Hatch Act, because this has come up, the Hatch Act, people say, well, what about the Hatch Act? This is a violation of the Hatch Act. So the Hatch Act, federal employees who are engaging in partisan political activity while on duty using their official authority. It also prohibits them from soliciting political contributions from their position and influence. Examples of prohibited activities include using social media to promote candidates, wearing campaign paraphernalia at work, and using official titles to endorse. Well, the mayor with them Jesus hats, he take her everywhere. He had a whole charter violation on top of that. She was not put in there properly because, we were supposed to vote on the third one. It was a very slick and clever way. I mean, I'm going to give it to Mayor Neely. With 5 votes, we could have stopped that. But we don't have 5 votes. We don't. We do not. So can we put up the date and time? Yes.
Well, I was just going to suggest that we watch him violate the Hatch Act.
We are. But listen, I need to put up the date for the voting, where you go before we get off of that. And then we're going to go into that other stuff. So can we put up the date? Did I send that to you? I know some of my stuff is not making it through, and it's very small. So
it's up now.
Yo, thank you. So voting locations for the 3rd Ward. Voting locations are Precinct 7, Burston Fieldhouse, 3300 North Saginaw. Precincts 8 and 9, Avery Aldridge Activity Center, which is next to Falls Avenue Church, is connected. It is, if you go to Falls Avenue Church, spin the block. It's on the other side, the entrance. So you will see that on Falls Street. Precinct 10, St. Andrew's Episcopal Church, 1922 Iowa. So these are your precincts. 7, 8, 9, and 10 are your precincts. Voting locations for the 3rd Ward primary election. These are your official ones. I have vetted these. This is where you're going to show up. So Tuesday is going to be, I I'm nervous. And I'm going to be honest with y'all because I don't know how. And I've had some interesting conversations. Leave that up for me. I've had some interesting conversations this week with people saying, how can they keep getting away with all of this? You know, I don't know, but it is so disappointing because it makes people don't trust in government or your elected officials. You know, you feel like, well, look, they scamming. Why can't I do it? They voting on their own stuff. And, you know, it makes you feel that government doesn't work for you, and it should, especially for Flint. Money comes to Flint and it doesn't hit the people. It doesn't hit the pockets of the people who need it. Now, you'll hear the mayor say, oh, we're going to stop those people pickpocketing the poor or whatever that crap is. Sir, it's you and your cronies are doing that. You are not stopping your cronies who keep voting on their own resolutions. They're pickpocketing the pockets of the poor with voting for that 300,000 in committee, voting for that 25,000, voting for that 50,000, that 150,000 coming up. Sir, it's you paying Leon L. Alameen the 30,000 in his government name, then paying him again for 8,750 in his government name. That's pickpocketing the pockets of the poor. Mayor Neely, that'll be what you're doing, okay? You and your buddies are pickpocketing the pockets of the poor. Okay, because we know I'm not supporting certain people. We're gonna get into them freedom schools, or not the freedom schools, the other people who are out here, you know, with these schools, but they don't have no organizations for the jobs. Come on, for the job program. Ain't got no organization, but want somebody to give them a blank check. Not. So let's go on to. I do want to talk about. We don't have representation, y'all. It is bad. We do not have real representation. And how bad is it? St. Mark's, they have turned down, I don't know how many times, 4, 5, 6 times. St. Mark for measly $50,000 when Liddell has gotten $75,000. St. Mark sends properly inside of the 6th ward. So her smart remark, well, he feeds people in Grand Blanc. Well, you know what, James, I need her to read the contract. You don't turn down people for food. It's in part of their agreement with the Eastern Food Bank. If someone's hungry, because they get the food at a drastic discount. A full truck is $1,000. A smaller truck is $600. A half truck is $600. And that's what it is. And so when we talk about doing, you know, the work, Pastor Thompson and had their last one this Wednesday, their last food drive. They had to lay staff off. So Judy Priestley and Liddell, oh, he got 1.5 million. Can we put up, please, the 1.5 million? Thank you. It was not St. Mark's Church in Flint. So is those ladies, and I'm using it loosely, state St. Mark, it was St. Mark's Episcopal Community Outreach Center, Grand Rapids. It was not Flint. When their mouths move, Liddell, Judy, they lie. Here is the actual St. Mark's that got the money. So we're not giving him the money. He's got 1.5 million, all that money he got. Judy, I want to know how you pay cash for that kitchen. Okay, I just want to know because Attorney Kim said you paid cash for your kitchen. You was telling everybody. So St. Mark Flint did not get it. It went to St. Mark's Episcopal Community Outreach Center, Grand Rapids. Now, y'all, I'm gonna play. Why didn't our state rep Cindy Neely? Who is she working for? It's not the people. We do not have a pipeline to get the money to us. We just don't. Now, if she's missed over 300 times of voting, that is a problem. She's not there to represent and to get what we need from Flint. So why is St. Mark not did right? We don't have representation. Trust me, I didn't call folks. This is so to the highest level of festivity I have been this week. We are not, now Grand Rapids is a very Kent County, doing very well. City of Flint, Genesee County, not so well. We need these services. We need the service. Who is she advocating for? I'm still waiting on a return email back from her from COVID. And another one, I said, and I haven't gotten them yet. And so when we look at this, St. Mark Flint did not get it. Now I hear they're trying to work on getting some funds for St. Mark. And so we're going to keep them in your prayer, that those powers that be are going to make sure that we get those needed dollars, that we get them. And so they didn't get it. Y'all see it right here. You know, I'm not making it up. And then if we put up the actual article that it came in so people can research it themselves so they can get the proper information. Because I don't want nobody sitting up saying, yes, Christopher saying pistivity. And thank you for phonetically spelling that out. Yeah, y'all don't know. This week had me listen. I had my little stalker calling me. I sent them 15 text messages and did a whole little gospel concert last night. I mean, I'm like, not today, Satan, you a lie. You a lie. And so in the article, can we blow it up, please? Big, because, yeah, thank you. So Michigan gives $9.1 million to favored faith-based organizations. And just leave that up as I'm talking, please. The article is dated July 2024. The money did not come. Please keep it up until I say take it down. So this went to Grant Kent County. That's where the DeVosses are. That's where the Republican Party is. And they got the money. Why? We do not have anybody representing what our wants, needs, our organizations, our schools, our crime, you name it. She just don't speak up. That doesn't mean people, that she's not a nice person, but every nice person is not equipped for the job. Closed mouths don't get fed, and Flint is not getting fed. Flint is not getting fed. Michigan gives $9.1 million to favored faith-based organizations. St. Mark was not included. Judy Priestley and Liddell Lewis, y'all should be ashamed of yourself. And Liddell, it's because it's in your community and you have been in the line, Liddell Lewis, to get food. Whether it's for you or you say a friend, you've been in the line to get food. You don't like the church and the members and everything else, but you was in that line to get food. Yeah, I'm going to talk about it because you taking advantage of the resources, Liddell Lewis, but then you have the audacity to not even support something, the measly $50,000 to help feed your ward, your community, and then gonna try to have a fake wow moment that wow, they're feeding Grand Blank Fitting, and it was on to the Tonya Burns show. And if she listened tonight, I need Liddell, Judy, and all of them to click, like, share, subscribe, and donate, okay? The $ Cash App Producer J 1987. That's what I need them to do, because she took a snippet in a clip. He serves everybody. It's no different than Bethel in my ward. It's not Bethel United Methodist Church. It's no different from Greater Holy Temple. People ain't turning people away. If you hungry, you hungry. Liddell, they fed you. They fed you, Liddell. You should be ashamed of yourself not feeding your own community in the second ward. So they didn't get the money. So this lie that they got the money. Judy would say, oh, well, that pastor has never come up here and said anything. He has never been to the podium. Here we go again. We got the video, Producer Jay.
And several times the pastor from St. Mark's was here and never came to the podium and spoke on his, not even during public speaking. Never.
Your next public speaker, Madam Clerk.
Next speaker is Pastor Kevin Thompson.
Good evening, Council, and to the residents of the city of Flint. My prayer is that we walk in integrity and walk in love. Weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds and casting down every vain imagination and everything that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. I do want to say to the council people, thank you for those who are compassionate about the city of Flint, about the city of Flint. And I just want to say that those who are not compassionate, we know who you are. We're continuing to pray for you. Because saying that those who are not compassionate, we know who you are. We're continuing to pray for you. Because we know that our church has a lot of to walk in excellence. It's time for us to stop being in a desolate place. We need to look out for each other and take care of our city with the ARPA funds. That's somewhere we need to take care of business with that. Take care of our city instead of taking care of everyone else. We need to, charity starts at home and then spread abroad.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but y'all, is that a podium or is it a lectern? So, listen, he was there. And so when we talk about that, and he spoke before and he's come, and I ain't never seen nothing like these folks. Yeah, never in my life. Never. They politely, or not politely, nastily shut him down. You know, Judy, you owe Pastor Thompson a apology because you lied on him. And he's been there before. You owe him an apology. You lied on him. And so you got people who say, I'm not going to feed the community. I have asked Davina, look, tell Judy to bring back her 2. She won't feed her own community. I said, bring back all 3. We can do St. Mark's and the 2 in her ward. We have money. We have money to feed the community, but they don't have the will. And they don't have the will. And the problem is when you get people who it's about them. I don't have any allegiance to where some foolish person gonna come say to me, you better not do that because I'm telling you not to. I live by the part I wish you would, because I can go to sleep every night and not worry that my conscience is clear, that I have done everything I can for that day. And when God wakes me up for the next day, what I'm gonna do for my community, what I can do for the next day. They don't live by that. They do not. And so, Judy, with her rude self, tell us show us where you saved up for that gas kitchen. Because you had said 5-6 weeks before, you had borrowed money. Show us where you paid cash. I want to see that. Because right after we passed this one vote, you came up with some cash. You know, you told everybody at City Hall. You know, everybody. I remind you, this is why you got to be careful who you listen to. Remember Robert Whittigan, the CFO, and she used to love him. And Mason's not going to talk crazy to me. He's like, da, 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 da. You know, they're going to respect it. Now they wanted to put him on the Hurley board. Judy voted no. They all voted no. Now he was your friend, Judy, when he was there. But now you're talking about the way he left the way this city is in. I want to know the way you left the city in, because if I'm counting, let's see, we took in 64. We spent in 68. The mayor thinks we're going to make some deals with the county, and the county don't care for us in that way. No. And so I don't know, but they math ain't math. And where's the grants budget at? Where is it at? So what is the condition that Robert Whittigan left the city in? What is the condition? The former CFO. But we're gonna be talking about these things. You know, Tonya Burns ain't sleep at the wheel. So I do want to say that. So one of the other things I want to make sure I am not forgetting anything. So when we talk about how important is that third ward, when the mayor is out campaigning, y'all, he put on one more cross. I mean, they're gonna probably take him down. It kind of reminds me of like Trump with Pope. Would he want to be the Pope? Well, I think I'd be a good Pope. No, you wouldn't. But let's put up, Producer Jay, the video where it says Mayor Neely campaigns for LaShawn. This is why when he is actively campaigning for her, endorsing her, Liddell endorsed her, Leon endorsed her. We should have a video. 810 Flint.
Stands in violation, and that's through no fault of yours, Vice President Mashat, violating the Constitution, which is our city charter. But we see certain council members doing things that's not in the best benefit of residents inside the city of Flint, and you all have to really recognize what that is. And so when Councilman Quincy Murphy passed away last October, the city charter says you have 30 days to impact or appoint another council person, because we have a council body of 9 individuals. So now it's been in a deadlock, 4-4 for different things. And really what it is petty politics. Really what it is that some council members on council was diametrically opposed to the Neely administration, and they supported the previous administration, and they locked horns and said that they're going to do everything not to make this administration successful, and with the attempt to go backwards, take us backwards. And so they've been working against good efforts like the water rate stabilization fund and all the other good efforts that we've been doing. Well, we had champions on that council as well. But also they have to have a 9-member body in order to execute the will of the people fully to be able to represent all sectors of the city. We have a third ward ambassador in LaShawn Johnson, who's been doing great work in advocacy for the third ward residents each and every day. And they're out on the cleanup right now as we speak. Good morning, LaShawn, and how are you doing today?
Good morning. Good morning, Mayor, and good morning, the city of Flint. I'm doing very well.
And so we want to know, the work that's going on, because the advocacy for residents in the third ward cannot be underserved by the failure of city council, some members failing to appoint. They failed their charter responsibility and their oath of office. But, we went forward and made an ambassador to be able so residents can have a person they can have a dialogue with and have a conversation with, so you can express their needs to this administration. And you've been doing a fantastic job, LaShawn Johnson, there in the third ward. Some of the things that you've been doing, you want to talk a little bit about it?
Well, I've been working with the third ward residents. I'm also with Genesee County Land Bank. We just had a building that was boarded up, that had been unboarded with glass all over the place. It was on Philadelphia and Saginaw. We're working with the Land Bank. We finally got that building boarded up, and we've been picking up branches and blight through the city of Flint. And right now I am on a litter lead with Councilman Dr. Liddell Lewis, and we're out here. We'll be out here for the next 4 Saturdays, cleaning up litter and garbage in the city of Flint on the north side.
Right, and we know that the world is built with talkers and doers, right? Talkers usually talk about it and doers usually do it. And usually talkers are sometimes practice fault finders. They just talk about and enhance and preach on a problem versus activating on the solution. There's a level of work that needs to be done, and the doers are out there doing it, and the talkers talk about those who are doing it either in a positive way, and those that we appreciate, but those who are not doing anything, they talk about it in a negative capacity.
Y'all, now I ain't slipping today. Am I did he just not talk about and contradict himself and the hypocrisy of it all? The hypocrisy. You have a mayor just told, I don't know how many lies. He campaigning in his office. She's doing what she's not supposed to do. That, it's a multi-member body, page 5, y'all, and it's on there. Acting or perpetuating to act in exercise of official duty. She's doing official duties. Official duties. You can't make that up. And so when we talk about talkers and doers, well, you just contradicted yourself. You talked about your friends, your 5, and you did. You talked about them. And what we do know they do is vote on their own resolutions to give themselves money. What we do know is that they voted to give themselves $25,000, $50,000, $300,000 in committee. We know that there were other ways that they did it. We know that there's another $150,000 on the line. So what they have done is voted for their own interest in his, which it should be the entire city of Flint. So when he says they are diametrically opposed, I'm not diametrically opposed. It has nothing to do with that. What I'm opposed is to the nonsense in his rhetoric. He's a divisive mayor. His leadership is terrible. He cannot bring the city together no more than Liddell can bring the city council together. And what's the common bond? Those two are friends. They don't care about the people. They do not. And so when the people get left behind, the people are rising up and the people are speaking and the people are saying, we're not going to take this no more. You don't get to just treat us any kind of way. And the part that he aligns himself with some of these people is just crazy. Diametrically opposed. No, Mayor Neely, do your job. Do it for the people. How can they sit up and he condemns what he thinks is some or two or whatever? You are technically condemning the entire council, but then they sit with you and it makes it okay. Make that make sense. That is such poor leadership. Flint needs something so much better than what he has given us. Period. Period. And he campaigning and she's acting. LaShawn, I don't know you. I would like to have a conversation at some point, I guess. But you perpetuating the act, and so he got you violating the Flint City Charter already, page 5, because you are acting in an official capacity, and he's a slick way. And at this point, people are like, well, why ain't nobody picked him? Hell, I don't know. I'm tired. And what I will not be a part of anymore is the disrespect that is served. Not doing it. Not doing it. So let's move on, because we're going to go on to the council questions youth video. So let's before we get to let's do the video first. I'm sorry. Council questions youth video. Thank you, 81010 Flint, because without your stuff, I could not have what I need. So thank you to 810 Flint, and it's not 810 News Media Group, because some get it confused. It is 810 Flint with the blue lion. And he does some great work, and he takes some time, and I appreciate the work that he does. I truly do. So thank you, 810 Flint. So that one is did you get that one? It is the youth question summer job. And then there's also 2 picks. So one of my issues with these youth jobs is when they couldn't answer none of the questions. So when you got the video, just put it up. I was not there. I had a family emergency. Did you get that one?
Yeah, it's queued up, waiting on you.
Oh, let's press that play button, y'all.
We don't have a list of agencies because we don't have funding yet. And it takes a lot of work to put the program together. But I have been calling other agencies that have youth job training, like Youth Quest. Beecher has a good program that they will recommend the jobs that they have, like Walmart. They have big clients that we would be able to send the clients to, which could cut out the middle person, and we could hire more kids. So I have been looking at a program that does that as well. But the program is just to save lives. It's not about anything else but that. If you remember COVID, you had a lot of grandparents that died that was taking care of these kids. So that was incomes that was missing. And so by funding the kids, you also help the household income so that the kids can have school clothes and just stay out of trouble, period. That is what this is all about. Simple as that. It's safety for our kids, another income for households. And so, yes, so I have been looking at alternatives, programs that would allow us to fund more kids by them placing the kids for us in different programs.
So is it true that because council hasn't approved the money, agencies are leery of contacting us to participate?
Yes.
And that's why we don't have a list of agencies that or companies willing to participate in this program?
Yes, it's part of the reason. And when I call them and contact them, that they always ask, well, council, because they watch council. Council hasn't approved it. So if it's not going to be approved, I'm not going to go through the process of trying to find kids for the summer and things like that. So I'm battling against that as well. So yes, the answer to that question.
Okay, so without us approving the money, there is no agency because nobody's interested
Right.
in participating?
Yes.
Thank you. That was my time. Is there anyone in the second round?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
So, Ms. Birch-Green, we didn't approve funding for any of the ARPA contract or the ARPA people that applied, so why can't we have an application process for the organizations to apply to run a summer program, and then we allocate, maybe there's 10 different programs and we want to allocate more money, or, I understand, why can't we be transparent and tell us the organizations that we're going to approve?
I'm very transparent. I don't have any yet. So I'm looking for alternative organizations because the organizations don't want to
So why
sign
can't
up.
you have an application process? Nobody wants to do
We
an
do have an application process.
Okay, so who has applied for an
Nobody's
application?
applying for it yet because they watch the council meetings and they say the money's not there. So they're not going to waste their time filling out the applications. And that's honest to God. That's what's happening.
We have applications for almost every program that we run.
Yes.
But this program, nobody wants to apply?
Not yet.
I got a hard time believing that.
Okay.
Hard time believing that.
All right.
I'll yield.
Okay.
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
thank you. I don't have a hard time believing it because people are tired of their time being wasted. They come here to get approval for funding and people get up and purposely break quorum. Who wants to keep coming here when business is not being handled? And then, you know, what you need to know about nonprofits, they gotta have people to pay and do, and so all that matters. It's just not you just jump in and you're working the next day. It's systems. You got to have people in place. You got to have people that are going to watch these people that are working, these young people. And so seeing this tomfoolery that we continue to give to the city, people don't want to be involved. Now, what I don't want to do, I do not want to be dipping in the administration business because it's not my job to hand pick people for you. It's not our job to do that. And it's not our job to hold up the process because we don't like these organizations. It's all about, are you doing the work? If you're doing the work, let's get the work done. Now, if my colleagues have suggestions, I compel you to give them to the administration. But otherwise, let's not hold up something good because we got lives on the line. It's getting hot outside. And in the north side, when it get hot, bodies drop. Young people walk around in masks with nothing to do. So let's stop playing games with people. This is our reality. And I want my son to be able to play outside. I want young people to be able to enjoy where they stay. And to hear people playing games, it's disheartening. So hope you have my full support. I hope we can get it done so we can get jobs popping because school is out June the 6th. Let's get this going. We're holding things up. That's less than 30 days almost. What are we doing? Thank you. That's my time.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Yes, second round.
Yes,
Go
Madam
ahead.
Chair.
Go ahead.
You know, it's funny. I find it very interesting that the mayor did a press conference talking about this summer jobs program. Well, wouldn't you think that before he do a press conference, he would get the approval from council first? And then you do a press conference talking about the summer program that you're gonna bring to the city. Look, I will not be voting for this. I have put this on the record before. Until I know what organizations are going to host the youth and what organization is going to oversee it, serve as the fiduciary, then I will perhaps vote for it.
Okay, so I want to say bravo to Councilwoman Murphy Carter and Councilman Pfeiffer for asking the pertinent questions. So here are some of the things. They said they don't have a list of agencies. They said that they want to add to the household and quit making kids responsible to be adults. Let kids be kids. Quit saying, oh, if they don't have these jobs, they're going to be dying in the street. I'm going to tell y'all, I watched some videos yesterday. These kids got money, cash that's literally stacked, and they're showing them. Unbelievable. You go to Flint Hood News Network, it's on there. And so then they say safety for our kids. Okay, that's you bring an ill-prepared plan and expect the people to rubber stamp it. That's just crazy. It's just crazy. You cannot You cannot make this stuff up. So let's put up, there's 2 slides or 2 pictures. So one of the things is that the different things. So these are the programs that they sent us in our packet. And in our packet, can you blow that part up? And so in our packet, and I'm gonna need to grab this. So hold on just a second, because I'm gonna grab mine because I need to read it. Okay. So in our packets, it tells you what they are supposed to be doing and which organizations. So the one at the bottom, and this was, and it's rather thick. So that one tells you what organizations are going to get the money. So one of the organizations that's going to get the money that is funded to is, and I'm not supporting, which is her pastor, Christopher Martin, who are the bishop or whatever he calls himself. And so it tells you possible benefits to the city of Flint residents and or operations, including partnerships, collaboration. This initiative gives Youth Flint a chance to gain valuable skills, build confidence, and contribute to their community by providing structured opportunities, mentorship, and a safe space to grow. Bishop Christopher Martin shouldn't be mentoring anything with the lies he has been caught in. I did not bring Jedediah Brown here, and he needs to just stop. Matter of fact, he owes me a big apology, as big as his lie was. And a safe space to grow. We're helping them stay focused, positive, and engaged, keeping them on a path towards success and opposed to alternatives that lead to street violence, crime, death, incarceration. Quit putting this, quit speaking that into these kids' life. It's more than just a job. It's about giving our youth the tools they need to lead and create lasting change in their own lives. And this sounds like an infomercial, y'all. I'm just saying. It sounds like an infomercial. So one of the organizations that we have in here is Liddell's Pastor, Cathedral of Faith. It has been for child care service. Well, if he lied like he has lied about me, and Councilwoman Winfrey Carter challenged him on some things, and she was very clear with her position as well as I was. And he sent some people over to my page. I bet they won't come again because I'm just not doing foolery. Tell your bishop, your friend, to stop lying. Make him apologize. So his is on here. This program is developed over a nonprofit emphasizing the cultivation of essential skills like interaction, interpersonal workspace communication, office culture, and community engagement. Your participants earn $11 an hour, which you can go to and work 29 hours per week in a structured, supportive environment. You have a whole lying bishop who put them lies up, and then he defended his lie. Her pastor is a lie, and she lied too. Matter of fact, they both told the same lie. So they were lying in unison. They were lying together, with the same stuff. And so how do they go about? I'm not giving you no blank check. And Jerry and Dennis, you did what you were supposed to. You hold the purse strings to the city, and you upheld it correctly. You did your job. Thank you. I appreciate that, because y'all did what y'all were supposed to do. They want city council to give them a blank check so we can give her pastor again some money. No, someone need to get that. Pull his culture. Look, you lied on Councilwoman Burns. Bishop, you need to apologize. Make a big post and apologize about that. Now, why would I allow you to vote so you can lie? You lied on me. You gonna lie to these kids? And when do we have, we giving tax dollars to teach faith? No, everybody is not. He's Church of God in Christ. No, He don't need to be teaching nobody nothing, because he need to learn how to tell the truth himself. Don't put that lie up there and then defend it. The councilwoman in the 6th ward. No, you just need to stop. You got caught lying, and then because you are a man of the cloth or a person of the cloth, you didn't say sorry. So no, I'm not supporting these agencies where they're their friends. I'm not doing that. No, what they call FBI friends, brothers, or in-laws or whatever. No, not doing it. Absolutely. Thank you, Jerry and Councilman Pfeiffer, for holding it down, taking care of business. So then we go on to let's put up the post, because this is why. Well, you got Christopher Martin's post and Liddell Lewis post. And so if we can put up what they're posting, because I want you to see where I'm staying for speaking. Like I told you, I cannot do the boots on the ground. I'm still 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Look, y'all, that's all I got. But I didn't learn how to do the crossover. So Liddell Lewis told the Luscious Councilwoman Tonya Burns, recent awardee of the Stalemate Strategist Award from the Lentil Law Group Firm, has the time to host her monetized podcast. Liddell, you got to have 1,000 subscribers. So y'all click like and subscribe so I can piss her off some more. I don't have 1,000 subscribers. I do not take any money from this so that I can correct what the lying councilwoman, who's the president, the interim president by default of the Flint City Council. Yes.
Didn't Liddell have a failed podcast?
Oh, that one was just bad. The likability expert did have a failed podcast. And we need to play that likability. She's a likability expert after this. It's on 8110 Flint. So, I'm going to start. Councilwoman Tonya Burns, recent award of the Stalemate Strategist Award from the Lentil Law Firm, has the time to host her monetized podcast for hours and line dance in council chambers with disruptions from Chicago, but choose to break quorum when it's time to have a public hearing on a multi-million-dollar investment on the north side. That's really not north. You need to stop that, okay? This tells companies that Flint is not open for business. This is not why we are elected. The city is suffering from the dereliction of duty. Yeah, Liddell, you award and paying your own stuff. Liddell Lewis, you're pickpocketing the pockets of the poor yourself, period. So one, I can't line dance. I got 1, 2, 3, your girl out, but I can do the crossover. But don't let me learn it. And Jerry on here, I got the fan part down. I got that part. But the other part, your girl ain't got. So this is her bishop. So underneath his teaching, we know it's not a problem because she lied too. And Bishop Christopher Martin states, I must speak up. This is embarrassing and out of order on every level for a city council member to orchestrate a line dance during a city council meeting is ridiculous. It's ridiculous, Christopher Martin, that you are such a big 6'1" or 2" liar. It's ridiculous. To bust people from Chicago and disrespect our city government is a huge dereliction of duty. Now they're using the same word, dereliction of duty, without he's being derelict in his part of being the bishop. One, now you are the biggest lying bishop and you don't deserve that title. I do not honor you because you are a liar, habitual, pathological, and chronic liar. Okay? And if someone else runs for mayor, he gonna jump ship on you, Mayor Neely, and gonna be with them because he's a ship jumper. That's what he is. So to bust people from Chicago to disrespect our city, so much important city business going undone because 4 members of city council have less than a 50% attendance. Now here he go lying again. And I ain't had a chance to write that letter. You should be over nothing, including being the man who pouring Kool-Aid in the little paper cups that's styrofoam. This madness must stop. Flint residents deserve better. City council, do the business. Well, your congregation deserves better than a lying bishop. I did not bust nobody here. Look, I didn't orchestrate no line dance because I don't even have the steps down. But if I did it, baby, let me tell you, I would definitely own it and do it. But I think I lost my black card with my little, with my little moves, y'all. I might be doing like the 2-step one to this, the cute dance. That's all I got. That's all I got. So, but when you have a bishop underneath the guidance of Liddell is, you don't wonder why Liddell is such a liar, why she's such a bully, because he is. He is. Bishop Christopher Martin, you owe me in the pot. My attendance ain't 50-50. So you a big ass liar, okay? And I'm tired of it. Now, if somebody else run, he gonna be on that, he gonna attach his caboose to that. How is this bishop who wants to be someone, a member in his community, to be respected, and all he do is lie? Lie. Just lie. So y'all, pray for him and pray that may the words that roll off his mouth not continue to be a lie, and that he may not be the lying bishop with his lying parishioner. And what is he teaching his flock, his congregation? Clearly to lie like him. This is all a lie. Just lie. It ain't changed it. And don't nobody come on my page and say nothing, because listen, I'm really not having it at all. And I'm gonna tell you. So let's move on. So there's a video, Mayor Flint caught lying. 810 Flint. Can we put out 810? And look, y'all, I need y'all to tip Pastor, Producer Jay. Can you put up the what's the name sign? If you can tip Producer Jay, because we got a lot of content. And then hit those like buttons. Even if y'all don't like me, hit the like button, because y'all enjoy that. Tell the truth on y'all. Actually give you something to go pray for tonight. You ask God to forgive you for your lies. So if we can, if you can donate $2, and it's going across the scroll, producer Producer J 1987 on Cash App, so that we can make sure that we continue to bring you the truth, because you need to see it. People will deceive you. Bishop Christopher Martin was deceitful. Because it is in print does not mean it is true. Because it is in print does not mean it is true. Liddell says the page is monetized. I guess we got to reach 1,000. And even then, it's not for me. It is to make sure we can continue to bring, because this takes a lot of work. I try to make sure I give people the facts so that they can have something to know, to go with. That what is your government doing? What is your government doing? And that is what I do. So if you can donate to Cash App, Producer J, $Producer J 1987, 1987. And so it's also along the bottom of the crawl. So if we can go on to the next one, which is Mayor Flint caught lying. Can we put up 810 Flint? I want to give them a shout out, because I appreciate what they have done and the stuff that they do, that the content that I can actually use. I think I sent you their what's in that. And I don't want it to be confused with any other 810, because the work that they do is they research it. And I appreciate what they do. So do you have that, Producer Jay? If you can put, I think I did send that to you. Thank you. So 810 Flint with the blue lion is where I get a lot of the content, because they watch. And it is a lot of work for them to put in to watch, to I need you, when you support them in their videos and share them, because their content, they really work really hard. And so I appreciate over there the content and what they have done. So Xavier, thank you to 810 Flint, because their content, he watches the video and keeps track of what's going on. And if I'm putting it up, it is one, and I'm showing it is factual. And I want to say thank you to him. So let's go on with the next video, which is the next video is it is Mayor Flint caught lying is the next video. So I did keep the 810 Flint up there, because I wanted people to understand this is I don't know what this comment was. Look, I can't keep up with the comments.
It's on the screen.
Oh, listen, then you gotta So Bartholomew, does this channel support the LGBTQ community? Please? Absolutely. I have always said, stay out of people's bedroom. It ain't nobody business, okay? Because you don't know what somebody wants. Just like people probably should have stayed out of Shannon Shay or Shay's bedroom. It is nobody business. So whatever your sexual preferences, it's not the business of Tonya Burns, okay? Okay? So if everybody is welcome over here until you act the fool. And that ain't got nothing to do with color, race, religion, or sexual preference. Everybody is welcome. Absolutely. So I'm not into people's personal lives. That is not the purpose of it. And I send out love to everybody, because one thing, and it really, when I was speaking to Jake, a fella, and better known as Jake the Flake, we talked about love does really conquer everything. Love can heal everything. And I do believe in that. So do you have the video with the mayor called Lion?
Yes, ma'am.
Can we play it, please? And y'all, please look, tip the producer.
In order to perfect greater outcomes for our young people, we have to be able to invest in them. A job program in which we talked about here in the city of Flint. I put it before City Council, the current City Council now 4 times. And we're going to continue to put it before them to be able to get them to vote in support of having summer jobs for our young people. We know having productive places for our kids to go and grow, it reduces crime in our community. For some council members, there's only 2 that really push back against this. We need to ask them the questions, why are they voting against this? And I can give you why I think so, because it's about malice and hate. They may not like me as a mayor. They may want somebody else. But definitely they're holding the residents of this great community hostage. And you, the residents, need to speak back and speak against that. We need to ask them the questions, why are they voting against this?
What organization is overseeing everything? I don't think that was mentioned.
Yeah, but we haven't picked that organization yet. So we're going to, last year we had Faith Foundation doing that this year, but we're going to give another opportunity to another group to lead. So.
But you don't know what organization yet?
Not yet.
That will host?
Yes.
Well, I would want to know the organization that's hosting the overall project as far as.
We have a couple of choices between the United Way and Metro Community Development. So we're looking at those 2.
You're looking at those 2. When will you know for sure?
After we pass it, and then we can ask them to do it for us.
I just don't understand why the organization wasn't selected beforehand. I mean,
because it's a process that we have to go through. So we're not going to go through the process if we're not going to get the resolution passed. So it's a process. I mean, we don't just pick them. We have to.
And then I do see too that McCree Theater is one of the organizations, right?
That was last year.
That was last year.
They will all have to apply again this year in order to be selected. Yes.
And you don't have the new list of organizations that will host the.
No. We haven't started the process yet. So we're trying to start earlier this year so that we could do the voting on which project's that's going to be selected.
Oh.
So last year, remember, it was kind of more rushed because we were toward the end of school already being out. But this year, we pass it early. We have more time to go through the process of selection.
So we don't have the overall organization who's gonna be, I guess, act as the fiduciary, and we don't know the 7 to 8 organizations that will host the youth.
It's kind of early to select those right now.
Okay, well, it's kind of early for me to vote on it tonight, too.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Madam Chair.
I appreciate that. I respect it.
We need to ask them the questions. Why are they voting against this?
So I'm not going to take up the rest of my time because this is nonsense. Until you can tell me who is getting the money, what they're going to be doing, how many people they're going to hire, how much dollar per hour they're going to hire, this is not going to get my vote. Thank you.
That information is in there.
We need to ask them the questions. Why are they voting against this?
Why? I mean, we didn't approve funding for any of the ARPA contract or the ARPA people that applied. So why can't we have an application process for the organizations to apply to run a summer program, and then we allocate, maybe there's 10 different programs and we want to allocate more money, or, you know, I understand why can't we be transparent and tell us the organizations that we're going to approve?
I'm being transparent. I don't have any yet. So I'm looking for alternative organizations because the organizations don't want to sign
So why
up.
can't you have an application process? Nobody wants to do
We do have an application process.
Okay, so who has applied for an
Nobody's applying for it yet because they watch the council meetings and they say the money's not there. So they're not going to waste their time filling out the applications. And that's honest to God. That's what's happening.
We have applications for almost every program that we run.
Yes.
But this program, nobody wants to apply?
Not yet.
I got a hard time believing that.
Okay.
Hard time believing that.
All right.
I'll yield.
We need to ask them the questions. Why are they voting against this?
No, it's funny. I find it very interesting that the mayor did a press conference talking about this summer jobs program. Well, wouldn't you think that before he do a press conference, he would get the approval from council first? And then you do a press conference talking about the summer program that you're gonna bring to the city. Look, I will not be voting for this. I have put this on the record before. Until I know what organizations are going to host the youth and what organization is going to oversee it, serve as the fiduciary, then I will perhaps vote for it.
But definitely we have a responsibility to our juveniles here inside the city of Flint, our young people, as we engage and get ready for school to come to an end. I know I was a benefactor of summer jobs in the city when I was growing up. So was Pastor Pettigrew. Chief Green also talked about being a teenager and getting a summer job at the sheriff's department before he became a sheriff, before he became a captain, retiring, before he became a police chief. He was able to engage in that level of skill set, to be able to grow into that. In order to perfect greater outcomes for our young people, we have to be able to invest in them. A job program in which we talked about here in the city of Flint. I put it before city council, the current city council now 4 times. And we're going to continue to put it before them to be able to get them to vote in support of having summer jobs for our young people. We know having productive places for our kids to go and grow, it reduces crime in our community. For some council members, there's only 2 that really push back against this. We need to ask them the questions. Why are they voting against this? And I can give you why I think so, because it's about malice and hate. They may not like me as a mayor. They may want somebody else. But definitely they're holding the residents of this great community hostage. And you, the residents, need to speak back and speak against that. They waited a long time for the water stabilization fund to be put into position to be able to keep water rates down now, not to have them increase. Pay attention to what's going on. We have some council people with less than 50% attendance ratings, meaning that they come half the time, but they get 100% of pay. We need to be able to step up and step into the engagement and ask these individuals to be able to provide a level of service for a community that we deserve. I need your help.
We can't do anything until we get someone in this 3rd seat. It takes 5 votes for the council to take action.
Okay. Listen, y'all. Malice and hate. No, they don't have malice and hate. Not to my knowledge. And it's 4. It's not 2, it's 4. There's 4 that are not going to approve this because it doesn't make sense. You, number one, you don't know the organizations to give the money. If you don't have the organizations, how do we know where the money is going to be appropriated with? And R.J. Brown said, just give him the money. That's what he wants. Which was because that's what he wants. And I'm going to keep dragging and lying to the 4, or he said the 2, but it's the 4 in the press. And I'm going to keep them guessing which 4, because I have paranoia, and I'm going to keep lying. There are 4. Mayor Neely has a responsibility because that's their job is to hire someone. What 8 organizations are they going to? I'm not ever signing a or voting on with a get a free pass, get some money. And News ABC 12 of them need to call and ask why. So he can bring that garbage up there if he want to. And number one, we're not an unemployment agency. We are legislators, okay? And so what we need to do, they're saying, okay, well, these companies, we're going to send them to Walmart. I put up where you can go to Teen Quest, you can go to Job Corps, and it was one other. Go to my page and you can see them. You can do that. So why are we referring and giving an agency 50, 60, 75,000 when they're just referring them to Walmart? Take out the middleman and just tell these kids where to go. Have a job fair at City Council. At City Hall for these kids, for these organizations. Kroger, they need kids to bring in them cards. Myers, you've got whatever. They got Walmart. They've got a Job Corps, Teen Quest to get them prepared to be job skill ready. And so what he's talking about is just telling them, they ask the questions, they ask the right questions. They don't have the agencies to send it to. Who they gonna give them to? Who gonna write you a blank check so you can write your bishop, which I ain't ever supporting him in that because he's a lying bishop and his parishioner is the lying parishioner. But we're gonna get into that with their attitudes, we're gonna get into that. So he can keep bringing it all he wants to. Tonya Burns is the third person not supporting that because it is not, it's not, what is that? Producer Jay.
That's where you had your about the jobs and stuff on your page.
Oh, okay. Now you got to blow stuff up.
You got to. So when they look for it, they're gonna have to go down quite a bit.
Scroll down, yeah. Because I put information that we would need. So there's Job Corps, there's Teen Quest. You can go there yourself. You go to Walmart yourself. You ain't got to waste no time. Yes, Patrick Jean, Burger King, Kentucky Fried Chicken, they always hire. And so this thing where he's trying to pit the council against each other. Liddell Lewis and Candace have failed at what they do. Their job is to bring the council together. They have not done that. Instead, they have been with the executive branch and allowed the executive branch to consistently talk about, which it includes them because they are part of council. They confused as to where they serve out on the government. And so what I'm saying is, don't let them fool you. He got a whole bunch of other stuff to really be worrying about. He really, really do. And this one, sir, come prepared. You don't have the agencies. Shelley, I like you. I do. But to say they ain't got the, it take too much work and they watch city council and that's not why. Shelley, I know you was trying to make it work. I'm going to give you a pass. They ain't passing that mess, ain't right? Not at all. Not at all. Anybody giving him a blank check. He keep going to the press. And what the press need to be talking to, watch the videotape and get the correct answers to why. No one's saying no to kids with summer jobs. First of all, he can't keep people employed at City Hall. So why is he in the unemployment agency business? People keep quitting. He can't keep the city staff. What was that little video where Clyde was caught with a hot mic? Give him 5,000, give him 10,000 on that little hot mic tape. He can't keep people working. So how he gonna suggest something? He needs to get out. He needs to understand what his lane is. Be the mayor. And so does Liddell and Candace and Judy. They're legislators. Their job is to bring together the city council. And they haven't done that. They have not done that. Have not done it effectively. They go against their own colleague. Go in there, call them names. Call them BITCHESs and call them hood rats. Call them slashing tires. Call them racist white BITCHESs. Well, if that makes you feel, Mayor Neal, like you and those individuals, those what do you call agents of chaos, or what you're supposed to do, then you've achieved your goal of further dragging down your city because they seem to take your leadership and go. He can't keep people employed here in the city of Flint. He needs to leave that alone. I'm just saying. He needs to leave that alone. Let me see if this is the one. Oh, the volume's down. I mean, give them 5,000. No, that's another 5 or 10,000. He can't keep people here employed, And so my thing is, he's not an unemployment agency. He needs to get out of that business. And so, but he sends them to do their job, and they do their job very well, but making city council look terrible. It's their job to work with the council, and they have not done that. They cannot bring Liddell and Candace cannot bring this council together. They hold demeanor and attitude. I'm just at the point that now, if disrespect is being served, because according to the charter, page 26, with our job duties, if they disrespect any of us, section 3-04, page 26, thank you. Responsibilities of city council. As representatives of the citizens of the Flint City Council, council members are expected to conduct themselves with appropriate decorum, act respectfully with constituents, each other, and other public servants, attend to the duties of their offices as outlined in this charter, and become knowledgeable of the charter of the city of Flint on issues important to the practices of government. So we know that decorum is something that's important, and that's showing being polite, that's showing kindness, that's being respectful. We don't get that. And if respect isn't being served at the table, I'm getting up and I'm leaving, period. I'm done with the garbage, not doing it. They have contributed to my PTSD that I now have because they are ridiculous. They have contributed and created a hostile work environment. Candace literally leered at me for like an hour and a half. What is wrong with you? Take your meds, literally for an hour and a half. And she goes off on this stuff, and Liddell is crazy too. I'm not dealing with it. I'm getting up. If they're disrespectful, lack respect, I'm getting my behind up and I'm leaving. So if they exhibit, can you put up the chart of any of the things that they thank you? So if they are disdainful, haughty, contemptuous, ill-tempered, treacherous, flippant, profane, bad mannered, discourteous, snippy, uncivil, snotty, superior, arrogant, highfalutin, egotistic, if they are awful, dirty, horrible, impolite, obnoxious, outrageous, unpleasant, vile, vulgar, disagreeable, hellish, horrid, ungodly, repulsive, repugnant, ruthless, unkind, sarcastic, unpleasant, beastly, despicable, coarse language, harsh, hateful, insensitive, uncaring, barbaric, cold-hearted, heartless, and even sadistic. I'm getting up and leaving city council. And if my other co-worker colleagues, they should too, because I'm not allowing them to treat me like trash, because that's not where I walk at. I don't walk in no back street alley. I'm walking straight up forward, and you're going to treat me in such a, you won't get business done. Now, all these shots taken and nasty tones, I'm not doing it. If decorum and respect and politeness and compassion, they don't have compassion. And not just for me, if they not treating y'all like that, y'all, I'm leaving. And I'm going to cite the Flint City Charter, page 26, which tells them you are violating the Flint City Charter. Page 26, underneath the legislative branch, y'all don't work with the executive branch, which tells you that the city councils are expected to conduct themselves with the appropriate decorum. I'd have been called the hood rat, dirty Dale Tonya. I've been called lying Dale Tonya. Councilman Murphy Carter was told she share a brain with somebody. Dennis has been called everything, and she still tries to peddle the he's a racist. Not true. And then we have, and I don't want you out here, Councilman Jared, being ignorant. No, we done with that. I'm simply getting up. You're violating because they want to know what has been violated. Okay, I'm going to tell you, page 26, sections 3-0104. If you want to do business, you're going to treat the residents right, or I'm getting up and I'm leaving. And also the colleagues, not doing it. Not doing it. So.
Y'all want to talk business or some other shit? I want order. Y'all want to talk business or some other shit?
Oh God. Now y'all know that was the great councilman Eric Mays. Now he said, "You want to do what? Hit that table. Hit that again."
I want order. Y'all want to talk business or some other shit? I want order.
Listen, thank you to Producer Jay. Y'all, please find it in your heart to donate to him. Producer Jay is at the scroll, $, cash app Producer Jay 1987. That goes so that I can have a show because I have a lot of content. I want everybody to leave with truth and good content. And that's where I'm at. Boom, boom, boom. I want order. I'm tired of seeing the residents. I'm going to go home, y'all, and have a glass of wine. And I'm not putting up with that. They're not going to disrespect and think I'm going to stay in the seat because they're disrespectful and they're nasty. They're very nasty. And I don't have the discernment at this point with what I'm going through and things with my family that I'm going to put up with that. I'm not going to do it. So let's put up the next one. 810 Flint, y'all right. Go over to 810 Flint, the blue with the lion, and like stuff on their page. Go over there and like stuff on them after y'all get off of here, but you got to stay on here first. But go over there and like stuff on their page because I appreciate their content. So go over to 810 Flint. Thank you, Xavier. I appreciate what you do. So let's put the next one. What is it? The Chaos Queens. The Chaos Queen. Listen, and before he get in that, I want to send a I had a very good conversation. This has been a lot this weekend. And I had a very good, I don't know if he's watching. He sent me a picture of his little boy. Commissioner Lloyd was playing with his son and they were playing. He had everything all over the house. And we had a very good conversation and it was good. It was a very good conversation. His son was doing what my kids used to do, take over the house. And his son was playing every instrument and everything he could bang something on to make noise. And that's what kids do. And I shared the story with him. And I look at now my daughter who'll be 30, she's 34, she'll be 35. My son is 29. Their birthday is in the same month. I said, look, I look back now, I was like, why were my kids riding bikes in the house? And upstairs, they rode them in the basement too, but they rode their bikes upstairs. They went through the foyer, the hallway. They had like a route through the living room, by the fireplace, through the formal dining room, through the kitchen eating area and back. They had a whole route. My kids rode tricycles in the house, and my daughter rode her first little pink and white girls bike. They rode their stuff, and they used to ride their what do you call them, the battery operated cars, not only downstairs but upstairs too, in the kitchen, through the house. You know, they had a little route that they ran, and I was like, what was I thinking? You know, when I was that was a long time in my 20s, early 30s. Let them do what they want. Look, they're quiet. Tire them out. So me and him shared some of those stories. So just saying to him, it's good when you talk because he has a 4-year-old little handsome fella. So let's go on to who's cutting that lawn. Or Quincy. Oh Lord. Okay. So Lenny said, because that's what we was in the hood. Look, I learned how to skate in the basement of my grandma's basement. We took our roller skates wherever. And back then it was Roller World and Rolettes Arena. And I was hitting the Roller World because it was orange. Everything was orange, but they had kind of a bumpy floor. Rolettes had the best floor when they had it. You know, and then, you know, if y'all know some of the more top dogs, they was down there start fighting, messed it up for us, you know. But those are my skating places where, you know, once you learn how to skate and got older, you have to have your little cute outfit. You go down there to be skate to try to be seen. And that was the thing back in the day. So listen, let's go on to the next. The next one is with these women that we have on this council, how they treat people. It is deplorable. And their behavior is unhinged. It is deplorable and their behavior is unhinged. So can we play the video for 8110 Flint, please? And thank you.
We can't do anything until we get someone in this third seat. It takes 5 votes for the council to take action. I appreciate it though, sis. We can't vote on anything. We can't move forward because they went to their offices and didn't come back. The clerk went and asked them to come back, and they said that they will not be returning to this meeting. So they went outside, I guess, to protest with Jedediah Brown. I have no clue, but what I do know is that we are here, and just so you can see for yourself, Councilman El Alamein is here. Councilwoman Priestley is here. Councilwoman Mashat, she's right here, waiting to chair the meeting. We're here ready for work to show the community that Flint is open for business. But unfortunately, our colleagues in the 9th Ward, the 8th Ward, and the 5th Ward, and the 6th Ward have a different perspective.
You better relax, because you ain't safe. Fuck you think you're talking to, Eva. Do something. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I better stop. What's up? I ain't think so.
Point of order.
Shut up.
Yeah.
You get real hype.
Oh, no, I won't leave. I'm going to sit right next to you as you continue to try to intimidate women. That's fine, but you're going to keep it down.
Point of
What's
order.
your
I'm definitely okay with it.
Point of
I will.
order. Point
Right.
of order.
What's your, excuse me, I'm saying point, what's your point?
Look at them. They're attacking him. They are attacking him. They are attacking him.
No, I did not see that.
They're attacking him.
Order. You don't see any of this shit that they're
They
doing to me
are
right
attacking
now.
him.
You don't see that.
I don't see it.
How corrupt.
They are attacking him. Both of them are attacking him.
5-minute recess.
Oh.
That bullshit. Look at that bullshit. Look at that bullshit. Walk it out, bro. Walk it out.
Thank you.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you calling people. You ain't if you don't intimidate me, you don't intimidate me.
Thank you. Yeah, this is not fair.
That's all I'm saying. No intimidation here, Piper. No intimidation here.
My colleague, it's not that I don't respond to you because I care about you being loud, because that's about all you are. You're never on point. You never have a point. You can never think of your own point. I don't respond to you because it would be bullying. I do not dare speak to people when I know they cannot compare in a conversation. Stop addressing me. The only reason you're packing up and leaving and saying you shouldn't come, you even asked Councilman Pfeiffer, what do you think? You have to ask him what he thinks because you can't think for yourself. And the one person that thought for you, God rest his soul, is gone. The one person you're sharing a brain with sitting next to you, now she's gone. And now you have to figure out. And now, that's okay. I am the appointed vice president of the Flint City Council, someone who stepped up in leadership because you were not bold enough to take the stance, because you needed somebody else to tell you whether or not you could take the position when you were offered a leadership position. So you are welcome that I constantly show you how to think for yourself. I show you how to be a lady. I show you how to be an adult. I show you how to be a leader. You are welcome.
So this money is only going to help your ward?
Well, let me tell you where the violence is coming from. Let's see. Great point. But let's look at the stats of the people that's been dying in these streets, coming straight from the north side, Mr. Pfeiffer. And if you were in the community, you would know something. But as you drive around in your Tesla truck, clearly you don't give one damn about what goes on about the youth over here on the north side. And so, again, we do apologize that over here that we're not driving around in Tesla trucks. We're not living in big houses. That's not what we're doing over here.
Please pause the time. What's your request?
We're also not driving around in brand new Cadillacs either. What's your point?
This is Traverse, not a fucking Cadillac. Oh, racist dick.
What's your point? At no point.
I will tell you, it's not his time. It's not his time. It's not his time. It's not his time.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. Because this is what we're going to do.
Sir, they call black. He just said, fuck me. Did you hear that? Just like he jumped at me last meeting.
Okay, everybody pause. Mr. Pfeiffer. Mr. Pfeiffer. Mr. Pfeiffer.
Y'all heard him say fuck you.
Hey.
You heard it.
Hey.
What can be done? Well, nothing can. Well, the residents can come and speak out about this.
She also tried to stop my flow, so let me get back into my flow with the fact that, again, this is disingenuous. It's feigned indignation for someone that is a personal friend. She's saying someone is doing personal attacks or speaking to motives. We heard her entire rhetoric before I got the floor while she was telling us what we were doing. Is that not what she's accusing me of now? I need us to start watching dishonest Tonya Burns and how she moves. It has to stop today. It has to stop today.
I'm not going to allow her to attack my character by calling me dishonest Tonya Burns when we looking at Kooky Candace, okay? I'm not going to allow that. Not today.
Go ahead.
All right, thank you very much. Again, as you can see, she's gonna go low to try and stop me because she can't beat me verbally, so she has to say all kind of things to try and stop what I'm saying. I need us to watch the behavior. I need us to watch the fact that everyone that's around her that spends any time with her eventually points out the fact that she's a liar, eventually points out the fact that she's dishonest, eventually points out the fact that she's a user. She's trying to get her,
or I'm gonna get her because I'm not gonna allow her to slander me.
Stop me
and
again.
speak to my you need to be quiet if you know what point of order is. Thank you. Close your mouth. I'm not going to allow you. Need to correct her speaking to my one thing I don't do is lie, but we know you do. No. So I'm gonna tell you don't go low because I'm gonna go lower on you.
As always, Dirty Tonya has to deal in dishonesty. As always, it has to be in order for me to do something, you have to do something for me.
You need to get her because she is a lack of decorum, name call. Y'all throw everybody out of here, including us. Get her together. Get her, warn her at this point. All this name calling, Dirty Tonya and all this other stuff. That needs to stop.
Please be respectful for each other.
Do you deserve better? We think that you do.
Mr. Jared, I kindly encourage you to reach out to Mr. Freeman because I don't want you out here ignorant and not knowing the inner workings of the land bank. And because it's important. It's important to know how they work and how they function. So when you do, I mean, I don't see what's funny because...
request for information.
Go ahead.
The word ignorant.
Request for information.
Yeah.
Madam Chair, did you just state you don't want him out here ignorant?
I did.
Okay, thank you.
Not a problem.
You better than that. Don't let her get to you. You better than that.
Please, I want to encourage you. Reach out to these council people. Tell them that we deserve better. We deserve more.
No decorum. No professionalism. There she is. Shit. Tell her what's going on. Say that ass. Man, the Dale no happy as hell. But they went up. They wanted us to talk. Yeah. They wanted me to talk. But Dale don't want me to talk. What they want you to say? Whatever I was gonna say. They ain't want me to say nothing. They wanted me to speak. They knew I was coming for. They knew I was going for her. They knew I was going for Tonya. I wanted to continue. The other bitch that yeah, we shut it down. All the police ain't gonna look. One of those in the jail gonna look, and we was.
We had some colleagues decide if they didn't want to sit in their seat and do their job. They decided to break quorum and You know, when you break quorum, you're not handling the people's business.
Out of respect for our staff who's been here all day and they're here to get the business done. Clearly, we're at an impasse and colleagues are not willing to budge. So out of respect for the colleagues as well as for the individuals that are here to see the business done, I will be removing myself for this meeting. So maybe next meeting we can go on with the business of the city and move these monumental dollars.
Point of order.
What's your point?
Order, Madam Clerk. Let this be clear that the staff is normally to stay to 9 o'clock. It is currently 7:02 p.m. And First Ward, Second Ward, and Fourth Ward and Seventh Ward are breaking quorum, to whereas there is going to be unfinished business with the city. I am willing to stay here as long as it takes to pick a president and vice president. They are derelict in their duty. They are leaving their elected seats. They are bailing on the residents. They don't care. We are governed by the charter to pick a president and vice president on the second Tuesday of every November. They are breaking the council rules, breaking the Flint City Charter.
People think that we're closed for business because our colleagues, they just walk out at will.
Negotiated with, and that we expressed concerns about, the practicality of timelines and such.
This meeting is officially adjourned.
I object.
For a lack of quorum. Y'all have a good evening.
So the president and the vice
These are the tricks they play. These are the games they play. Look at our president leaving. Look at our vice president leaving.
No business.
And and I want the community to understand why they leaving.
They're leaving and going on vacation. City business is not done and they're going on vacation.
Right.
So if you are someone that cares about the city of Flint, speak up. It's time to say something.
I mean, this council has not been fair to all of its members for 2 years. And it's time that we start taking care of the business. And we're all elected. If we care about the people tonight, then let's, number one, vote someone in. It is time for a shift. People have had their turns. You've shown us the best that you got. It's time to move on. Time to move on.
We need some help in getting our colleagues to follow suit until we can get someone to fill the third ward seat. Quincy would have stood on business. Quincy would have been here 10 toes down with his job. Quincy would have been here doing the work. But unfortunately, we are held hostage by individuals that have alternative motives for the city. Let's work for the benefit of the city.
So I want to say thank you to 810 Flint. Y'all go over and like 810 Flint with the blue lion, like their page, because this was a compilation of everything. So we need to increase their subscribers. Go over there, share their content, because this has to get out. Thank you, Xavier 810 Flint. You made my life easier. Look, this is serious stuff. It's serious. They get up, they walk out, they talk condescending. All that whole list of can you put that back up? Well, they're vile, they're disrespectful. You name it, they're doing it. They're snotty, snippy, uncivil, arrogant. They feel they're superior. They're impolite. They're unpleasant. They're vile. They will call you whatever. Candace and they're saying, what the F you talking about? Eva, but she meant Jerry, but she swearing. Her and Liddell, and I want you to say rule number, because when Liddell was up acting like she was Leon Spinks or Muhammad Ali and wanted to box, Rule 9.4 states that 9.4 states that in the Flint City Council rules, it states a council member must be seated at their designated seating place to vote. Proxy votes are not counted. Again, Rule 9.4 that they made up these goofy rules. They made them up for Mays. That a council member must be seated in the designated seat in order to vote. She was not in her designated seat to vote. And she sat there with Candace. Liddell and Candace went at Councilman Pfeiffer all night long, just in between. One was here, one was here, and went at him for almost 2.5 hours, I believe. And Judy's like, well, I can't hear what's going on. Judy does not deserve to be in her seat because she doesn't have the backbone to speak up. And she lies a lot. And so what she did, that she can hear everything at the back of the council chambers, but she can't hear 2-3 people down. Come on, Judy, stop. I'm not giving you any passes. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So this is the behavior because they don't work with the council. They're legislators. They're not executive branch. They don't know which part of the government that they serve. And then the mayor, when he talks about everybody, he's talking about them too, because the council president should be bringing the council together. She doesn't. She done called you all kind of B's and FUs, and Candace has too. Call people FU and, who the F you talking to and all this hood rat. No, Candace, I'm not a hood rat. Sorry, you're not going to put that on me. And, the fact that you're telling Jerry, when she was telling Jerry Ruth Ricardo how to be a lady, you might want to take that advice and tell somebody else how they treated the ladies. Okay, that's in prison. They need to get their stuff together because they don't care what they say. And people are tired. People are tired. And it's ridiculous. It's the abuse. And they always got my flow. Girl, you not know this ain't no rap battle. This is city council. You're not standing on the corner giving a little rap battle or on stage or something. It's not what that is. Understand and read your room. But they don't. It's like they took that box when it was time to speak. They didn't want the residents to speak. And they constantly shut the voice down of the community. They shut the voice down. So if we can pull up the video, which is, it talks about, so I was running late. I had some things I had to do, which were required, but that I had to be. It's not required that we let anybody know, but it's a courtesy. I do tell the city clerk and let her know that I will be running late and an approximation, because that's just out of respect. Candace, so did we have medical issues or whatever? I have several. We don't, but you might. So if we can pull up the video, which will be at the timestamp 27 minutes, which is the Jedediah's Flint crash out timestamp. So now they put him out. She said we can't be doing both. She says, well, they're in their offices. They're downstairs protesting. Which one is it? Liddell, get your lies together. Were we downstairs protesting or were we in our office? I had just gotten there. I wasn't going into that mess. If the people couldn't speak for that meeting, they could come back to speak for the second meeting. And that was the purpose. Then they kept stalling and stalling. We were all going back for the second meeting because the residents would be allowed to speak. We're not going to shut the residents out. And so that was the plan. It took them from an hour and a half or whatever to get to the next meeting. And so at that point, it was like, I'm like, look, y'all, they're like, they're not going to do it. I said, look, I'll wait and see if they want to do business. I was working on other stuff. I'll take my seat to do the business. I'm not, people were saying, well, why isn't she in her seat? Because we were all going to go. They had some things they needed to do. They covered me when I wasn't there when they asked them questions. So I made sure we had at least 5 votes. Yes, we are working together, period. And so when she started which you got 5 votes, they started acting disrespectful. I told y'all Tonya Burns is going to do section 3-103, when respect is no longer being certain. They have violated Flint City Charter, page 26. Tonya Burns is getting up and leaving. And why? Because respect is no longer being served. So when it becomes to the point with that section, again, that Flint City Council members are expected to conduct themselves with appropriate decorum and respectfully with each other and their constituents, they just dish out. That's your warning. That's your warning. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I'm leaving. I'm done. They can figure it out. See how much work gets done. Mercedes Kenny's has an etiquette school. She needs to send those women to etiquette school because they never learned it. They never, ever learned it. So let's talk. So Jedediah was down there and he went down there to speak. I missed all. I had to go back to watch. I was not there at this time. So can we put it to 27-minute mark, please? And thank you, sir.
That's me, right about to get into a head-on collision. This is how I went from a 12,000.
Hold on. Who's that? Okay. What did they do? Save the life. Yep.
So as soon as quorum is established. Okay, yeah, well, as soon as our colleague come from back there, we can move you, or hopefully move you up to the front so we can present you with your acknowledgements.
This is crazy. So, is it recess or no? Is this recess? Miss Priestley, are we in recess? Miss Priestley, are we in recess? You're ignoring me for what? Okay, we're at ease. What is that? Is that the same thing? Is that a different way of saying recess? Make it make sense. What does at ease mean? Could somebody please define what at ease is? Because I am not at ease. I'm in confusion. So I can't. You know what? You know what? I'm not gonna wear no dress shirt. I can't. Fuck the dress shirt. It ain't gonna work for me. It ain't gonna work for me. What the fuck I look like wearing a dress shirt and I still got to be this girl? Beverly Biggs for 3rd Ward.
Usually he's gonna start working something.
This will be resolved when Beverly Biggs is elected. Can I get 3 more minutes since we're at ease? Another thing that I was concerned about is how Pastor Martin, we're at ease. I don't know what that means.
Excuse me.
Pastor Martin has a water bill. Yep.
Sir,
get off the mic. Get off the mic. I'm not, okay, well.
I'll tell you one time.
What does at ease mean?
Either get off the mic or go or leave.
What does at ease mean?
Get off the mic or leave.
I'm off the mic. So what does at ease mean?
Matter of fact, get out. Get out.
Now get out.
Yep.
Okay, we can do that.
Right
there in black and white.
Right there in black and
white.
white.
Was you gonna, wait, what was you about to happen? I can have what? I can have what? This? You have guns? You can have a gun?
Where does it say you can't have that in here?
Have a gun?
Where does it say you can't have that in
He's
here?
here to do something.
It doesn't say that.
He's here to do something, so I'm just trying to let him do it.
He can't have that in here. Let me get you. It doesn't say he can't have that in here.
Hold on, I'm trying to let them do what they think they want to do.
It doesn't say he can't have that in here.
Try to save the day.
It doesn't say he can't have it in here. Where does it say that in the laws and the rules?
I know one thing, you just violated my constitutional rights.
Yes, you have been
You're gonna pay
violated.
me for that.
Yes, you have been violated.
You know
for
you're
that.
gonna pay me for that, right?
Give him a chair right there.
No, I don't need a chair.
You need a chair.
You know you're gonna pay me for that.
Why does he
You're gonna pay me for that. Let's go. You can't just kick a citizen out. I obeyed your command, and you literally still told me to leave. You know you can't do that, right? You know you can't do that, right? Let's go. Oh, Chief, this was the best thing you could have done.
Appreciate it.
The best.
Appreciate it.
Back to the next.
Yeah,
I'm
appreciate
okay.
it.
Oh, wait, I think it's telling me I gotta need a building total. Let's go. Let them do it. Let them.
I've been put out the courthouse before. This is what they do.
You literally just blessed my whole life. Thank
This is
you.
what the fuck they do.
Thank you.
I got a son right now going through something, and this is what they do.
It's okay.
This don't make no sense. That's what I'm
You better calm down.
Excuse me.
Out too.
Oh,
Could y'all please hold on?
You better calm down before you
Excuse
get
me,
out too.
sir. Am I under the threat of arrest?
Get out of the
Am I under the
building.
threat of
Let's
arrest?
go. Let's go.
Okay, let's go up touch. Let's go physical touch. Physical touch.
Let's go.
Am I under the threat of arrest?
Let's go.
I'm asking you. Hold on. Am I under the threat of arrest? Okay, he's pushing me. Now I'm being pushed. Am I under the threat of arrest? Because I have a choice. No, you don't make them kind of fucking decisions. Chill out, Green. You're doing too much now. You ain't that. So I asked you, am I under the threat of arrest? Excuse me, because if I'm not under the threat of arrest, I choose to, hold on. Okay, this is
Why are you out of this building?
Am I under the threat of
You get
arrest?
out of this building.
For what?
Yeah, if you don't
Make
get out of
it
this
clear.
building, you will be under arrest.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Here's how I got my team to use Monday Sales CRM and actually like it. Let me start by saying it's so easy to use that I want.
Hold on. Thank you. He just told me I'm under the threat of arrest if I don't leave the building.
You're gonna have to push it from in there.
Y'all literally think y'all get away with so many rights violations that you just think you could do it to anybody, don't you? Huh? They sent the big dogs.
We need order in the meeting.
What kind of order you need at ease? They didn't have no form, and it says at ease. At ease. No, that's not what he's talking to me about.
Let's go. Moving around. Come on.
After you.
Get off the elevator.
After you.
Get off the elevator.
I don't want you behind me. I don't feel
Get off
comfortable.
the elevator.
I am.
Come on.
I can move with a reasonable time. Don't touch me no
Get
more.
off the elevator.
Don't touch me
Get
no
off
more.
the elevator.
That I mean.
Get off the elevator.
I meant that.
Get off the
Don't
elevator.
keep touching me.
Get out the building.
That ain't how this works.
Get out the building.
At
You'll get
all.
arrested for disorder.
Don't touch
Get out
me
of the
again.
building.
Oh, you
Get
go.
out of the building.
Thank you. I keep on going to do that. This ain't no problem. I can leave, but bro, you better know for a fact I'm not them. You're not gonna punk me like that. Wrong motherfucker. Huh? On my soul, he don't know what he really don't know what he just did. But I thank you for this. Civil rights violation, idiot.
You're welcome.
Idiot. Oh, so yeah, Neely that mad now. You don't even know how to be the police. You are a clown, bro. Neely that mad now. He get not do something, right? But I'm not the one you gonna punk like that. On my mama. Remember that. I'm outside. Remember that. Okay, what's
Get out of the building.
I'm right
Get
here.
out of the
I'm not in the building. Look at the line. I can say where I'm at, and I can say what the fuck I want to say where I'm at. Now take your punk ass in the building. Now, because I know how this works, clown. And on my mama, good job, stupid. Good job, stupid. Good job, stupid. And you know you fucked up. It's your oath, not what the mayor tell you. You know you fucked up. Lift your stupid ass upstairs and count your days, because they now are going to be done as a police chief. America gonna figure that out. Stupid ass.
You know that's why the state police has been here for years, is because the Flint City Police Department has been
This
corrupt.
the best thing. You can't kick me out of this building like that. I ain't done nothing. I ain't done shit. I ain't done shit. You can go count. You go count your days for becoming a police chief, because clearly they ain't got no fucking sense in command staff. You literally just upheld a civil rights violation. You literally just upheld a civil rights violation.
That's the first name and badge number. That's the first name and badge number.
By the way, I do need that. What is your name and badge number?
His name is Villarreal.
Badge number.
Mexican.
Villarreal.
What the fuck you doing? From the jail.
You can stay in tune with him all the time. His name is Villarreal.
I said I don't have
You
a
can't
badge
just
number.
put your hands on nobody, bro. Y'all really got that shit twisted all up. Yup, exactly what I thought. Yep, they just basically crossed the fucking line.
They did. They put that old lady out.
This man just put his hands on me 3 times in the elevator and definitely kicked me out for no reason, getting no commands, no explanation. They just violated every fucking civil right. And then just told me if I come inside of this building, I'm going to be arrested. Doing nothing unlawful.
You wasn't, and there's a law that
Chief Green, bro, you just said get all that camera footage. Let me call you right back.
bullhorn in there. There's no law that says you can't have it.
You can have a gun in there, but you can have a bullhorn. Shut up.
You ain't using it. That's very true.
Stupid.
Judy Priestley went home and got her gun from me and Gina.
And guess what I could do? So now I know that y'all willing to violate civil rights, bro. Thank you. Thank you for proving my point.
You outside. You can
Stupid.
You go right to front of the council chambers and holler us, and they can't say nothing.
I won't, man, bro. And it didn't work, did it? Y'all supposed to arrest me. Didn't work. Because I'm smarter than that. Huh?
So those are windows upstairs right there.
You weren't never on your bullhorn in there, was you?
No.
I know that he said he had the bullhorn because you had it just like I got my here, my purse right here. He said because you had a bullhorn.
And I wasn't disruptive of nothing. I was
No,
I was at a mic. I was at the mic.
Say warning, but then
no, I just caught it. I don't know what he's talking.
He thought that I was going to fight him, so I said, okay.
No.
He said, hey, get out anyway. Right here on camera. Clear as day.
you know the chief only got one leg.
I know.
Thank you. Thank you. So listen, that whole meeting was a lot. So what lawsuits do we have? We have the $50 million lawsuit that is in there with the two little black boys who lost their lives in the fire, the Mitchell boys. We also have got the former fire chief, Ray Barton, $10 million, and that's in court. And I believe that they are discussing a settlement now. We've got the metal detectors lawsuit that's going on now. Arthur Woodson has got a lawsuit because they illegally detained him for 16 hours and couldn't tell him why. That's going to be a lawsuit. Mine is going to the Michigan State of Appeals. We don't have the date yet. I mean, so it just keeps going. So they are continuously breaking laws. Now, Chief Green, there's a lot of things. You may have been frustrated. That wasn't the way to handle that. And the law is very clear. And it was open meeting. It was properly posted. He was not, they were in recess. He didn't receive a warning. And so he's going to court and whatever. Oh, then we got Faith, who's suing the city of Flint. That's the one who they fired, who the one who did the what do you call it? Did the indoor plumbing. She got fired. She's suing the city for actually getting the indoor plumbing for 50 homes. She got fired for that. We have got the HR director. They told her they were going to fire her, Dr. Tia Lewis. I think she quit. I don't know what it was under duress. There were some issues with that. I mean, we can keep going on with the talent that has been lost. He can't keep people in Flint. Why are we in the unemployment business when people leave the city of Flint and they sue? Oh, the guy who works for the police department, he was the fire marshal. He's suing the city of Flint. In addition, his name is Michael, I believe. He's suing the city of Flint. So when we really look at this, we got a lot that is going on. A lot. So producer Jay, let's put up for the call in. If we got people who want to call in, the number, I ain't got the number. He got to put it up. But listen, before we do the call in, let's put up, look, please donate to $sign producer J on Cash App 1987. So we're going to take a couple of calls. So y'all, it's too much. Now, I'm going to tell you, section of page 26, look, they're going to know it by heart when I'm done. I'm not staying for them to talk to me crazy or my colleagues. I will be getting up and leaving. And when they decide to show their behind, I'm leaving. I'm there for the business. So.
Y'all want to talk business or some other shit? I want.
Oh. And so NYC 912, that is untrue. There's a whole list. Going to AK Cole's page. You will see all kind of Dalton had this. So that's not true. It's all over. It is all over. So if you would like to chime in, call. The number is, let's leave it up on the screen, 470-660-1833. If you'd like to call in and you want to say something, let's limit this to 2 minutes. Look, don't call on here. Chums, can you fix this? Michelle, don't you be no problem solver tonight. Because I can't solve no problems. Okay, not tonight. I do have a resident to call back when I'm off that did call from the 6th ward when my camera was off. That has an issue that's going on. And so if you would like to, has Art been on yet? I don't know if he's been on. I think he was selling dinners today and he said he sold out. So if you want to call in, the number is 470-660-1833. If you would like to call in, and please don't be on just running, I'm going to limit it so everyone will get an opportunity to speak. Caller, what's your name?
Hi, St. Louis.
Hi, St. Louis.
I I was looking at the show, and Neely has a lot of nerves. He's a smooth talker, but he's a criminal too.
He's a smooth talking criminal.
Yeah, yes, he is. Yeah. Because you're right. You don't have to have a 501c, a 501c to get money for kids for the summer program, because they got every kind of application out there, like you said, Walmart, Slater, anything that the kids can do for work-wise.
Yeah.
And they need to stop giving out money unnecessarily, because that's what they're doing. Neely has no business, and he has no business in that council meeting. Here in St. Louis, the Barrett and Jenny's tried to do just what he did. The council members took their matter to court, and the judge told him, stay out their business. And that's what those judges need to do up there. They need to get some balls and stand on business. What he should be trying to do is worry about why y'all going into 11, 12 years with that damn water.
Yeah.
If you want to be a mayor that want to get elected again, do something on that. Make a movement on that. As long as you've been married, hell, every damn thing should have been fixed.
Say it again. That's true.
As long as you've been married, every damn thing should have been fixed.
You're correct. But St. Louis, thank you for calling. I want to give everybody else an opportunity if they want to. And you're correct. Everything should have. We had to give the service line. The state took over our service line replacement. His administration failed to complete the service line replacement. When he came into office, it was at 90%, and it's still at 90% since 2019. Underneath my good friend, Mayor Dr. Karen Weaver, it is still at 90%, and the state took it over. So thank you for calling in, St. Louis. So if you want to call in, call in. The number is on the screen. We can chat. I can answer your questions. We can do this. So Producer Jay, I think I actually covered just about everything. So that third ward election, it is important. It is important. Can you put back up the voting locations? Unless it's a call in the voting locations, precinct 7, Burston Fieldhouse. That's precinct 8 and 9, Avery Aldrich, Foss Avenue Church, but the Activity Center. Precinct 10, which they had problems at, this one, well, actually was at the Avery Center. So precinct 10, this is at St. Andrew's Episcopal Church on Iowa Street. So people Tuesday, get out and vote. We cannot afford to stay home. You cannot. If you're in the third ward, if you need a ride, there are people giving rides for you to get to where you need to be to vote. It is important. You can vote Monday in person at City Hall. I think up until 8 o'clock you can. So you don't have to wait if you don't want to wait till Tuesday. You can go to the city clerks and you can vote on Monday. You can vote on Tuesday at City Hall. You can vote tomorrow at City Hall. You can go there and vote. And so those numbers are tabulated automatically because people don't believe, and it's sketchy with our what they feel, what is our voting process. We have every time we have got problems when it comes to a vote. I hope we're not up all night doing these votes. I will be doing vote call in with Sheena Beckton on Flint News, Urban Flint News Network. I will be doing that at 8 o'clock because that's the show time over there at 8 o'clock. It is at 8 o'clock. So I want to clear up a couple things too, because one thing about it, I'm really tired of just stuff that just don't make sense. I actually, before I was elected, I worked, went door to door with dealing with homicides because we had a problem with homicide. Can you put the article up for me, please?
Which one?
It's the article with there were two that were put up, but I want the context of the one article, which shows me by myself, and it's a headline. So when it comes to I'm not gonna say fighting crime, making sure that our voices are heard, I have always supported in my community the people, our crimes and homicide. We peaked at a certain time that people would not speak. They would not speak out. They were silent and people wouldn't talk. And so I volunteered my time along with many others. So 810 News Media Group put up this, and I guess it was to take a shot at me. I'm okay with that because you know what I did? Got out and did the work. And they put up part of it. We all got so many streets. So it was for June 2021. And it's Flint Safe Neighborhoods Initiative launches door-to-door efforts to solve weekend double homicide. And what they did was went different areas where they knew the neighbors heard something, but people wouldn't talk. And so this was an effort with Michigan State Police, the Sheriff's Department, Flint Police, and people who volunteered. And so this is what I did. I went door to door, and not just this time, several other times where, you have to wear the highlighter vest. We actually, because at the end of your streets, often, people knock at different times. Some people move at different paces. And so Karma was in her Jeep. She was in her Jeep, and she would load up her Jeep, and we would go around in the Jeeps. She was picking up people to take them, because when you get in that area, you may have one house and then 5 empty lots. And so we volunteered. This went throughout different areas where there were homicides, shootings, and the case went cold. I volunteered. Now, what they put up was the picture. Can you put the picture up? They put the picture up, and there's State Trooper Vetter in there, and then it is Holly, and then Holly Wilson, and then it is Liddell Lewis. We didn't come there together. That picture just happened to be a picture that was taken in June 2024. And this was at the end. So Michigan State Post Vetter, she was there, me, and this wasn't all, it was a bunch of other pictures. So they decided to go through all of my pictures, 810 News Media Group, and put it up. Look, y'all can come on there. I'm not ashamed of anything that's on there. They went through my pictures and they tried to say, oh, her and Liddell. Look, Liddell, I had been very transparent. She was best friends with my cousin. I knew her from that. Now, what made me stop dealing with Liddell? Because someone asked me, I think on my page, and I said, and I didn't really, it's a list of reasons now. But initially was when what she did was, and it's on video. I don't know if somebody could find the video. And I asked her, she said, Councilman Mays called her MF&B, and she was trying to get the council members and the people to go along with. I said, that don't sound like what Mays did. And so I said to her, I went and talked to the cameraman and the journalist, there were three that were there. And they was like, no, that didn't happen. No, that didn't happen. So from my seat, I said to her, Liddell, I didn't understand why you would say, if that was said to you, you would have said something. She lied. She literally went to lying on Councilman Mays and defaming him because she was trying to turn people against him by lying. That point, I was done because she was telling a lie that people will believe. People will often believe a lie instead of the truth. Now, it wasn't like me and Liddell was just chilling and hanging out. And people have said that. And whoever's saying it, you know who we are. Stop the lies. Stop it. Now, when Liddell came over to my house with Councilwoman Murphy Carter and Councilman Mays, and it was Liddell Lewis. We had, the election was over. I think it was the next day or the day after. It was a week in between. They met at my house. That's when Liddell told Councilman Mays she would vote for him as council president, and she would be vice president. And we met at my house. So when they try to give these revelations to try to say, oh, she's with, Liddell, I'm with whoever gonna bring Flint together. But that night at my house, it was the four of us here. Now, what happened after? Because Mays was still in my driveway asking what was going on, and I'm like, I don't know, Mays. I went to sleep and he woke me up. He was like, she changed her mind already. And that was not the agreement that they had worked out at my house. So I'm putting it out here because you got to be careful who you believe. People will have you believe in stuff. I have not blackmailed anybody. The police report came back unfounded, not true. Haven't did it. Not my thing. Don't have time for it. But when you keep lying on me, I'm going to keep correcting you when I feel needed, because I'm not into this. And when I see people dying, when I hear people have problems, I'm dealing with people in very real issues. And I'm not here for a click, like, or, for click and likes. I'm not doing that. I bring you things of substance. Can you put that back up there for me? With the article. And actually during that walk, they found a house that saw and were speaking to the authorities about it, because we had knocked them door. Everybody don't trust the police when they show up. They don't. But to have people who were just walking, they felt more comfortable. And that is what I'm saying. I did my part. I need everybody to do their part. And that is the part where I hate to see it's tearing down this community. And it's tearing it down because people don't put the truth out there. I don't care if you're going to walk. I don't even know what street she was on. Liddell wasn't even on my street. We all got streets, multiple streets to walk down. So that was the very end. Right there shows the name of the program, the date, June 2021. And it shows me walking down the street. And if we had to do it again, if they started that program, guess what? I don't care who will be there. I'm going to go back to do my part with the city. I just simply am. So let's go on to the next. But here's some things that they won't tell y'all. Here's some stuff that they won't tell y'all. They won't tell you things, who they supported and who they didn't support. That's when I stopped supporting Liddell. When she literally, and I'm talking to the journalist and the cameraman, and he's like, yeah, leave that up. So when they say this stuff, only person was around was Winters. When our last election, she wasn't supporting Councilwoman Winfrey Carter. She was out there voting for Joe Schapani for 5th Ward against Councilwoman Winfrey Carter. She's wearing the shirt. She's telling people to vote. She's posting online, vote for Joe Schapani. And Joe Schapani is a very good friend of mine. Y'all, you've seen the murals I've had him on. So you got to be careful from people who don't know the history. I'm giving it to you in the facts. I'm giving you the facts. She wasn't supporting her. She was out there talking against her. Here's the shirt. She's out there campaigning against her. Now, they have worked through that, and that's fine. But they don't tell you what the truth is. You can support her everywhere. She didn't support me. She supported Miss Claudia, and she supported Joe over JWC. And so my thing is, you need to know the truth. Let's put the next one out, because I deal with facts. And like I said, that night where Councilman Mays was in, I'm like, I don't know what happened, Mays, when she changed her mind into the driveway. I don't know why. I don't. But there's been times when Winters was thanking Liddell for being on their show. Blow that one up, because I can't see that one. So she was thanking her. I personally want to thank the new council members for interacting with Fun Politics Reboot. And our queen, Eva Worthing. She was calling Eva her queen. I'm sorry. That's just crazy. It's just crazy. At no point, because Eva didn't like anybody. She was disruptive, disrespectful. She had been saying remarks that were just horrible, and especially towards Councilman Mays and our queen, Eva. Then you see down there, and she also got on there thanking Liddell Lewis 2nd Ward. Yep, she did. Then you see Liddell Lewis down there. We need groups like this to keep us on our, toes or whatever. But she was speaking. Now, this is in November. Mine was in June. So you just need to own the context. But Eva was her queen. So y'all need to understand where some of this stuff is coming from, you know, and it has to stop. I mean, they will say, you know, I have not blackmailed her, and they just don't stop over there. They don't. I have been very open, and even with Dr. Weaver, Mayor Karen Weaver, about me and her relationship. And we have said it on air. Go back and watch the video. The first time that me and her actually, and I told y'all, they came over, we were together, and we all sat down, it was just me, her, and Jamaica. And it was the toughest conversation that both of us had. And I have on air said, you know, I wish I had known who you were. I did not know that they had lied on you so bad. And they did. Lies were told, and I have said they were good lies. You know, I was not in this group. They had media warriors with Winters home, and Winters did start from politics review. I wasn't in that. Mayor Sheldon Neely I was not text that. I wasn't in it. I was in it for a minute, and they put me out, and I wasn't in it. He never did the text every morning to me like he did to them, because he knew I wasn't going to do that garbage. I was led to believe certain things and things other people said, but when I finally had the conversation directly, I welcomed them over. And what I did was I apologized to her and told her, I'm telling you, and she knew she had so many people out there going against her. So can you put the picture up? This is when she had come over to my house, and we had talked. I sent you the picture, producer Jay, but ain't no way. And our queen, Eva Worthing. Now her and Eva can't stand each other. So people need to understand the context and how people move. So they thought, did it come through?
Did you just send it, or it was?
Oh, hold on. I just sent it. My bad.
You just sent it.
I thought I hit the send button. So charge it to my mind and not my heart.
All right, hold on.
So what I did, me and Mayor Weaver would see each other at Police Chief Tim Johnson's studio. My husband then was very good friends with Chief Johnson, and I was good friends with his wife, Melinda. And so we would, we good friends, it's still good friends. And so we would see each other, and it was never disrespectful. And she just said, I said to her, I said, you know what? We need to sit down to talk, because whatever it is, can you blow it up? I said, because whatever it is between us, I just feel there was bad information. Let's talk it out. Can it be blown up or?
Yeah, I can. Just give me a minute. It's the way you send it.
Oh, let me send it another way.
All right,
so so what I did was invited them to my house, and we had we aired it out. We aired it out because I would see them in I sent you the new one. And so we aired it out, and we talked about it. I didn't know everything she had going against her, because her message was not getting out. Her message was not getting out. And so what I'm saying is, us as adult women talked about it, fixed it. And what I told her was, one thing you don't have to worry about, because now we got a problem. We pick up the phone. I don't care what time of the night or day it is. And it has happened. We pick the phone up, and she will not have to question my loyalty, and I won't have to question hers, because it's based on respect. And look, I sent you a different one.
I got it. Just, I don't know why. Put up. Hold on. Keep talking.
And so we actually talked through it. And so there have been some things in both of our lives when we picked up the phone. I shared with people when her daughter's car had gotten, unfortunately, someone had shot up. She called me, and it was like Jesus on the main line coming through, because that phone was like on the table. And she was like, Tonya. I said, Karen. And she says, Tonya. I said, wait a minute. I said, are you okay? Are you and Rex okay? And she said to me, she said, no, I'm not okay. And then she proceeded to tell me the story. And then she put her daughter on the phone, Adrian. You can leave it up across big. And so we have developed since 2020 a very good, trustworthy, valued relationship that I appreciate. So this was the day, when you bring them over, and I'm like, this is the D-Day. You can't take me back to a place that God has delivered me from. Leave it up. And so her and I went through everything. And so for me, we covered it. Now I had to feed them. I hooked them up, y'all. I had to look. We had some fried chicken. I did these other little hors d'oeuvres, and we just had a spread of food. I made my homemade guacamole. We had these other little things I do on rye bread some little, and we really went through everything. And it was a healing moment. It was a healing moment. And what it did was heal for her, for me, and for Jamaica. Jamaica was kind of like, you're not going to come hurt her. Jamaica was really very protective. And so what I'm saying is sometimes you have to work through something. And this day over, I think it was like 9 hours, maybe a little over 9, we made a bond that is strong. And it's not a bond that anybody can say, and they can put up stuff to try to say, because look, I now have the correct information. I have it from her. She has given me the correct information. Me, her, and Jamaica, we'll be on the phone. If it's a shooting, it's us three. We would call each other on the phone. And, we have worked through that process to heal it and to support each other. Now, when she ran again in 2022, what did I do? I absolutely supported her because she was done unfairly. So this day they came to my house and we worked it out. And we had never really talked. We would see each other in passing, and we were both respectful. And so at this time, hold on, keep that picture. Why is it okay to bash others instead of saying yes at one time? I was cool with that person. I don't even understand, Christopher, where that question's coming from. I don't, because I really don't. So, and maybe I need to look up in the comments. People go through something. So here's one of the things that Mayor Weaver shared. She was not going to. They had taken the water pods. She was not in agreement with certain things, but they didn't report that almost 400 million until after her election. And so when they did that, people believed it. And that's the thing. So Mayor Karen Weaver is spoke with her today. She was getting on the plane, and that is, we have a friendship that is one that's loyal. I'm a supporter. She ran again, but it's hard when people will still believe those lies. And we went through every single thing, and then we worked through it. So my relationship with her, I did the work, she did the work, and then we just did one where it wasn't supposed to go that way where it went, but it went that way. Sometimes God intervened and we just need air, clears the room, and we did it online. There were some people who were saying, oh, I didn't think that was genuine. It's 100% genuine. And we talk, okay? And so, and I want to say congratulations to Jamaica Patrick Singleton, who just got married. And congratulations and well wishes. And with her wedded bliss, she went over to Jamaica to get married. So what I'm saying is sometimes friendships, and I didn't really have a friendship with Mayor Weaver at that time. I didn't. But it took that for now. We have one that she will not have to doubt my loyalty. And that is where we are at. And it's a good space and it's a good place that we're going to remain. So, and also with Jamaica. So they can put up all that old crazy stuff. It does not bother me, but what they should be doing, put up while we supporting Beverly Biggs Levy is what they should be doing. Take that time that you're trying to split this community and speak to your candidate and her worthiness. Speak to your candidate that why she deserves that third ward. Why is Beverly Biggs or bust? Speak to that. Play her video that she's got that's on her page. That's a nice video. I played it on mine. And so, Chris, and I just went to bash you trying to imply you are a snake as if you and Lydell were friends instead of giving all the context. When I said that people did not know this. Why target you, Miss Winters? Don't like none of these people in this picture right here. She don't. Her, whatever her issues are that. She don't like none of the women in this picture. She don't like Stephanie Care and several of. I don't have it out for her because when she was called, when Rich Jones was disrespectful, y'all go back look at their own audio. I didn't play it when he called her the H word. I defended her, and it was disrespectful for him to do that. She's called me before and didn't like me and said she needed help. And, she was on Flushing Road, and I answered the phone because I'm not going to meet whatever that is with her with nastiness back. I ain't got time. It's just not who I am. It's not where I'm at. But my apology to Mayor Weaver and where we worked it out, women go, and she had a lot of hurt because her intentions. And it was just the whole city and people were coming after her. And when you understand what everybody is coming after you, and you like, look, I'm just trying to help the city. They told so many lies on her that it was crazy. So sometimes we got to go back to correct when we were wrong. I've shared it, but y'all, I'm gonna tell you, they ate all that chicken. My chicken be good as fire, y'all. I'm just saying. They ain't leaving. I think they took a little plate with them because I just did a whole spread and made cocktails, and we were at the bar and we talked through it. And I have said to her, I wish I knew you before, because before I supported Sheldon Neely for mayor, which I was, I dealt with Sheldon when the show started. I paid for his program over at WFLT. And then I advertised during his show. And what I did, I told her, I wish that Chief Johnson had introduced me to you, because I wouldn't have supported Neely. I know I wouldn't have. But they kept Mayor Weaver so guarded that I wish I could have met her. I wish I did, but I didn't. But listen, she had such a great time down in Tougaloo, Mississippi. She was down there with Carol. They were down there looking fabulous, looking super cute, and having a ball. And she was with the ambassador of what is it, Libya? Y'all don't get me. I'm gonna get the wrong name. And so she is at a different place in her life where she's got some peace and traveling and doing what she likes. So go over and click on also Flint Urban News Station to support that, because as women and as Black women, the 92% that we understood, and I'm not dissing my beautiful sisters who are in the womanhood, who are of the Caucasian descent. I am sending them love too. I am absolutely sending them love too, because we get Debbie, Diane, and we get Sandy who show up. I'm sending them love too. And that is what it's about. That women really need to rule the world. We ain't all that emotional like that. And we, we would handle things. We're able to multitask. And so that part to me means a lot of things that that we can correct what we're doing and say, what's for the betterment of my community. And me and Dr. Weaver's conversation is always about how do we better our community, and things that we don't even say hello. She'll call and she'll be like, girl, because some of the stuff is just unbelievable what is happening. And she has not given up. Jamaica hasn't given up. Carol hasn't given up. Stephanie, Elizabeth Taylor, Mrs. Elizabeth Taylor. So when people have not given up in our community and they continue to move forward, that is what it's about. They keep moving and staying focused. And that part I love. And so to the dedicated women, I'm going to have to put this picture of her because they look so cute, celebrating the women who are in our community, who are still working for us, that she's going to always play a part and what we are doing in our city, because we have got things that need to change. We just do. Our city is literally suffering. We are at 90% from when she left. We are still at 90%, and the state has taken over. And with the state taking over, that means we are not in control. We are not. We are not. And so I sincerely worry about sometimes, are we in a threat of, I'm going to send you this picture because they look cute on this picture. So that was, they were at my house. Look, I showed them the best hospitality that there was. And look, we hugged it out and may have shed some tears, and it was real. It was real. And I had promised to her she will never have to question my loyalty, because in politics, you have to question the loyalty of the people around you, male and female. And she has that promise to me. And we have shared that together. So this past weekend, I'm going to give shout out to her. She was in Tougaloo, Mississippi with Kara. Did you get that picture?
I got it. Yeah, give me 1 second.
Okay. So, because she's still rocking, and if Mary Weaver rocking, I'm rolling. And so she's enjoying doing philanthropy work and bringing back things and with the working with women and showing how powerful women are. That to me is something that's important. So this is where they were at this past weekend, and they were at Tougaloo, Mississippi, and that is Carol McIntosh and Dr. Karen Weaver. I forget, it's the ambassador of, and I forget his name, but they were there looking lovely, by the way, in a black attire as they were watching. They had a concert there too. They was doing it up. They was big time in it. With Anthony Hamilton was there. And they were there to, let me say, at the college is a historically black college, and making sure that we show up for each other. And yeah, Christopher Sims, yep, that's true. Sure did. And I did say it. She talked about Neely and was at Dr. Weaver's door, talking about how bad he was and everything else. Absolutely. Absolutely. So celebrating women, and that's one thing that we have to learn, that I don't have insecurities, but I will support women, period. I am a black woman, so I got to support myself. Okay, y'all. And I'm supporting women, and women, we can change the world. And I appreciate the support that we get from the other women. It's women, but these two women, you know, they continue to work in this community. And so I just want to celebrate them. So any story that me and Mayor Weaver don't get, it's just not true. I'm sorry. It's just not true. And matter of fact, I will be on their show tomorrow. They are doing their Clutching Their Pearls show, coming on very late at 10:30 p.m. But before we put that up, can you donate? Can you tip producer J 1987? If you can do that, if you can tip that. And so if you can tip them. And so please kindly donate to Cash App Producer J $ Producer J 1987. It is also long at the bottom of the crawl because it takes a lot to put this in there. So you can donate to Cash App $ Producer J 1987. Okay, did I send you the one tomorrow at 10:30? They will be on Clutching Your Pearls. They're going to have Pastor Thrill Kill. Let's put that one up. I sent you that one. That one is the resident calls out mayor's administration, because Pastor Thrill Kill gets the trophy. He gets the trophy. So this is tomorrow, Clutching Your Pearls After Dark. The top pearl clutching moments of 2025. That will be tomorrow, Monday, starting at 10:30. So y'all, look, come ready. You come in your jammy whammies and be ready. So you're going to have JWC, Michael Clack, and you're going to have Pastor Thrill Kill going to be on there, and then myself. So it's going to be a good one. But can we play before we head up? Can we play that one A resident calls out mayor's administration because Pastor Thurlcare said, look, I'm not coming in putting nothing on no card. Y'all better take this card mess and go someplace. And he didn't. He spoke clear from his heart. He spoke clearly. He didn't raise his voice. He got his message across. So tomorrow, Monday, May 5th, 10:30 p.m., live panel on the Flint Urban News Station on YouTube and on Facebook. YouTube and Facebook. So they will be on there. So let's play. Producer Jay, do you got it up? Yeah, that may sound bad. Do you have the video?
Do you have it? Is that what you're trying to say? Do I have it?
Do you have the video?
I got it.
Okay. Can you play it, please, sir?
Okay. Hold on one
Let
second.
me say my words correctly, y'all, because somebody be twisting my word.
You know, I got to correct you since you put me out there about them steps.
You did find out steps, and I was working.
Hold on one second.
Christine Leach, yes, Miss Taylor will be up that late. Yes, Miss Taylor about that live. Listen, she is.
You ready?
Let's play it.
And one of the things, just write it down, Brother. They want you to write your question down.
I understand, Bishop Martin, but I think the significance of Flint right now, with all of these distinguished gentlemen sitting there, and as a taxpaying citizen of this city, I believe that we should vocally put our questions to these individuals. I know these people are intelligent and full of the Holy Ghost with all the po that's in here. I think we can do it decent and order. I feel better to speak directly to them with my voice like they spoke to me. I think we need to be treated fairly. That's what's wrong with this city. Because I might write something on that card, and I know you're gonna have choice to present it or not. But it's time for us to go face to face with our questions. We are tax-paying people. Taxation without representing my brothers and sisters, I'm sick and tired of it. That's what's your problem. We don't have a vote. We go down to City Hall, they only give us 3 minutes to talk. Now you telling me to write my question on a card, and then you all gonna decide what question to be presented. It's time for us to face each one of them with our problem. I'm a taxpayer in this city, Bishop, and that's the why I'm challenging us with these cards. It's time for us to speak. Don't be scared of us. Bullies with power. That's all that is up there. And we down here, we got to take it. And it's time out, Bishop. I know it's a time to speak and a time not to speak, but this is the time for the community to speak. And if anybody get out of order, I'm quite sure this gentleman will correct it. He's got enough help here, and I'll help him. Anybody that get out of order. But if we got to be heard, he's writing these things on the card, you're not going to put everything out there, because y'all going to shift through them. Oh, this might make the mayor mad. That's what you're going to do. Right. And it's sick and tired. Anybody with me? Am I wrong? Right. Don't sit there acting like y'all don't know. It's time to speak. That's right, man. That's what's wrong with us. From the church house, from the outhouse to the White House, we done went to sleep. And I've been in place since 53. But I don't debate my brother Bishop. That process, I should have said it earlier, writing on the card, that ain't gonna get us nowhere. They do that all the time. But it's time for you to put a mic and them people, and I want to see what they got to say anyway to them.
Thank you, Reverend Gill. I certainly appreciate it.
Listen, if y'all ain't did that math, Reverend Thrillkill been in Flint since 1972, and he 80 something years old. Just for y'all who don't know, you know he is. And so, like he said, from the church house to the outhouse to the White House, it is time for us to speak. Thank you, Reverend Thrillkill, because I look forward to being on that panel tomorrow with Dr. Weaver, Carol McIntosh, the lovely Elizabeth Taylor, and the smart and sassy Stephanie Rogers. So I'm looking forward to that tomorrow at Monday, May 5th at 10:30 p.m. I'm looking forward to that, and it's going to be a good one. So thank you, Pastor Thrillkill. Look, and to each and every one of y'all, Lorraine Thompson, Christine Leach, y'all know I ain't seen all these names. Philip Johnson, Scorpio Armor, y'all. Tasha Lynn, hey, y'all. Living Life, that's Angie. Merck 76, Jasmine M, Tara. Look, and if I didn't call y'all, Tony Terry, Julian 724. If I did not say y'all name, y'all charge it to my heart and not my mind, because I'll be having a lot of stuff. So I want to say thank you to my moderators, Sheena Beckton and Patrick Jean, and to producer Jay. Thank y'all. Let me give y'all a bow. Take a bow. Take a bow. Take a bow. So listen, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed it. We got some good things coming up, y'all, because I'm telling y'all, your girl is excited. So sometimes God can make things so clear that we can see things clearly now. And God is a good God, and God is restoring order in the city of Flint. He's restoring order. So trust part of the process, y'all. Trust it. Producer Jay, what's up?
Can I play it one time?
Absolutely.
Order. Y'all want to talk business or some other shit? I want order. Y'all want to talk business or some other shit?
Listen. So thank you, Producer Jay. Listen, y'all can still donate to $ Producer J 1987. And to the mods, y'all rock, because I don't do this by myself. I make a concerted effort to be factual and truthful to get y'all the information that you need so you can see it for yourself and go through it. I need people to make sure we support those that get out and vote. They are planning on nobody voting. They're planning on it. Get out and vote, and tune in tomorrow at 10:30. And then on there's your precinct sites: Precinct 7, Burston Fieldhouse, Avery Aldrich Place, and St. Andrews. Those are the 3rd Ward voting sites. And you can vote downtown. You can vote downtown tomorrow and don't have to do Tuesday. Your vote is automatically counted. You put your ballot into the machine, you are given a number and I voted sticker. You can do that. So I want to say to each and every one of you that I truly believe that God is restoring order, because some of the things this week, what's that song? I can see clearly now. Y'all know singing ain't my thing. But listen, I want to thank each and every one of y'all, and make sure you vote. Take somebody to vote. You know, let's do it. Producer Jay, anything before we close out?
No, that's it.
Okay, and I want to say thank you to my colleagues, Councilwoman Jerry Murphy Carter, Councilman Pfeiffer, and Councilman Jonathan Jarrett, for standing on ethics and business, that we are not going to be talked too crazy. And any of that whole list that I put out, we out of here. I'm not doing it. Y'all going to quit stressing out everybody when y'all loving and living in your chaos. We're not doing it. So remember, vote 3rd Ward election. You can vote downtown tomorrow, or you can vote at those 3 precincts: Burston Fieldhouse, Avery Aldrich, and St. Andrews. If you don't know where you're voting at, or should, call the Flint City Clerk's office. Do that. Listen, I want to send love, because love heals all things, to everybody. Sending love to everyone. Sending y'all a heart. sending y'all a heart. My allergies is kicking my butt, y'all. So anyways, Producer Jay, we out of here. Let's hit that theme music.
It's the Tonya Burns Show. Tune in right now. Like and share. Our city needs that vow. Flint City News got truth to share. When we fight the darkness, we repair. Won't give up. We're standing tall and proud. Voices rising strong, no longer shrouded. Residents deserve what's right and fair. Together we can lift the despair. We fight, we win, we break the chains. Tonya Burns won't stand out in the rain. Our city dreams will make them true. With